Good evening, everyone. Welcome, citizens of Douglas County, the August 19th, 2025 Commission meeting of the Douglas County Board of Commissioners will come to order. County Clerk, please take the roll for the record.
Yes, ma'am. District 1, Henry Mitchell.
Present.
District 2, Whitney Kenner Jones.
Present.
District 3, Martin Raxton.
Present.
District 4, Vice Chair Mark Alcaraz.
Present.
Chairman Dr. Ramona Jackson Jones.
Present. Thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Tonight, Board of Commissioners and the citizens of Douglas County, we have the honor and the privilege and pleasure of having our own Managing Director, Mr. James Worthington, leading us in our invocation this evening. And please, I ask if everyone could stand for the invocation. And after the invocation, we will certainly pledge to our flag. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the opportunity. Let us pray. Dear Lord, as we're here, as there's so many here, Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to be here, Lord. Thank you for the opportunity to stand before you and be part of this government, Lord. We ask you to be with all those that are here with concern and angst and those that have tough decisions to make, Lord. We can find peace in knowing that we can lean on you in times like these, Lord. We ask for the decision makers, Lord, that you will provide them comfort, wisdom, direction, and lead them and guide them to make decisions that are pleasing to you, Lord. And for the citizens here and those that are watching, we pray for peace and comfort and unity amongst all. We ask for a spirit of cooperation amongst everyone here and just pray that everything can be done peacefully and in good standing. These things I ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Managing Director, for that amazing and wonderful prayer tonight as we certainly prepare for our meeting. Clerk, did we have anyone sign up tonight?
We did. However, it is all for the millage rate, so we'll hold off until the public hearing.
Okay. Sounds good. Board of Commissioners, are there any changes that need to be made to the agenda tonight? Have you had an opportunity to review any changes? Oh, I'm sorry. Board of Commissioners, I'm so sorry. I was a cheerleader in high school. Please forgive me. Board of Commissioners, have you had an opportunity to review the agenda? If so, are there any need for changes?
No, Madam Chair. No.
Did I hear? No?
No.
Okay. With that being said, do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion, board? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to cast your electronic votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries to approve the agenda. All right, Board of Commissioners, please be reminded that we have 2 minutes, 3 minutes to make our remarks this evening and 2 minutes for a rebuttal. And I ask that you please be mindful of this these time constraints to allow everyone here that want to speak to have an opportunity. Okay? All right, Board of Commissioners, next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. You have the minutes of the commission meeting of August 5th, 2025, the work session of August 4th, 2025, the executive session of August 4th, 2025, the special call meeting of August 11, 2025, and the mid-year workshop of July 29th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Board, any discussion? Okay. Please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Board of Commissioners, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Tonight, we're going to move right into our public hearing this evening regarding the proposed millage rate. Before we open the public hearing, we will have a presentation from our Assistant County Administrator and Chief of Staff, Tiffany Stewart Stanley. Chief of Staff and Assistant County Administrator, you have the floor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good evening, Board of Commissioners, Madam Chair, County Administrator. So we are here for our third and final.
Your voice.
I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. I'm going to I promise you I will speak louder. Yes. Okay. Well, so I will try to talk louder, and hopefully you all can hear me. I will do my best. So we are here today for our third public hearing. As you all know, we had one on August the 11th, one at 10 a.m. this morning, and our final hearing today at 6 p.m. We will start off with a short video followed by a short presentation. Thank you.
What is the millage rate and how does it impact your money? In simple terms, the millage rate is what you owe in property taxes based upon the assessed value of your property. Each mill is equivalent to $1 of every $1,000. For example, if your property's assessed value is $100,000 and you multiply that amount by 1 mill, the amount you'd owe in taxes is $100. It's time for the Douglas County Board of Commissioners to set the 2025 millage rate. Commissioners are currently considering a proposal from the County Administration Office to adjust the millage rate to 15.763 mills, an increase of 3.7 mills above last year's millage rate. So what will this mean to you in terms of dollars and cents? Based on the proposal, the property tax increase for a home with a fair market value of $350,000 is approximately $41 a month, or $496 a year for those with a homestead exemption. So where does your money go? Tax dollars fund general government, the judicial system, public safety and public works, health and welfare, parks and recreation, and planning and development. Keep in mind, the school system also assesses a millage rate, which is separate from the county's rate. There are ways to lower your tax bill, including applying for a homestead exemption to be deducted from the amount you owe. Find out how to qualify for homestead and other exemptions by contacting the Tax Commissioner's Office for detailed information. Following a series of millage rate public hearings, commissioners will weigh citizen input along with budgetary information from the County Administrator's Office to make an informed decision. We value your voice and appreciate your input.
Thank you so much to our Chief Communications Officer and our communications team for that video. So we're going to start off today with some
Your voice.
Okay, I apologize. We're going to start off today with some frequently
Madam
asked.
Chief of Staff, hold on just one second. Is there a mic that we could have so she could project in the mic and hold it?
Can I hold this? Maybe is this better?
Yes.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
hold it. So we're going to start off today with some frequently asked questions. As I stated this morning, there's been a lot of information out about the financial status of the county. And so we just wanted to do some frequently asked questions that we have heard over the past week to kind of just clear a few things up. So the first question is, did the county go over budget in 2024? And our answer is no. The county did not go over budget for 2024. And so I will show you our unaudited operating results. So for 2024, the gross revenues were $137,289,183. And our expenditures were $137,264,466, leaving our revenues over our expenditures at about $24,717. So what was the county's ending assigned fund balance? And what a fund balance is think of it as like a savings account. What funds that the county have to roll over that were not assigned for the 2025 budget. So the first set of numbers you see is for the money that we are required to keep in our savings account for emergencies. The county, we do try to maintain at least 90 days of operating expenses in that account, and that is per a county policy. And so you will see there it is $19,104,586 for that portion. And then the available that's there for operating that the Board of Commissioners can make amendments as necessary is $20,589,670. So that total that we rolled over to 2025 for our savings account is $39,694,256. So our next question, is the county over budget in 2025? And the answer to that is no. The county is not over budget in 2025. We are currently in the 8th month of the year, and that's our fiscal year, and the county is currently over budget. So the answer is no. What was our adopted budget for 2025? $130,925,100. What was the amended budget? And that means an amended budget is when the Board of Commissioners has to make necessary changes to the budget. We are currently at $137,313,291. So what amendments have been made throughout the year? So
If we could just keep the chatter down, please. So,
yes, thank you. So I just, okay, you're fine. So the budget amendments that have been made, the sheriff medical contract, $2,457,900. Connect Douglas General Fund impact, $3,500,000. The Greenway Trail Project, that's a local match, $193,898. We needed to purchase some software to make sure our communication between our E911 and Sheriff's Office was adequate, so that was $65,000. We acquired 2 vans from the Federal Transit Authority for $50,414. And then we purchased some software for our GIS cloud management system for $215,529. So that total is $6,482,741. So what is the county's current assigned fund balance? So remember earlier I said there was a portion of the assigned fund balance that the Board of Commissioners could use for operating expenses. So when you deduct that $6 million and something dollars, okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna try to do better. All right, so once you subtract that $6 million and odd dollars, you get in that balance $34,696,599. That is what's currently in the county savings account. So with that being said, why is the county administration office asking for a 3.7 millage rate increase? And so you've seen this statement. It basically says that after careful consideration, the county's fiscal needs, we're balancing those against the growing strain of inflation, increased costs of goods and services, and uncertain state and federal funding. And I just want to simply say, for us, costs are going up, just like they're going up.
excuse me, point of order, y'all.
Okay.
Point of order.
So costs are going up for the county.
Point of-
Is it that they can't hear me? Or
Excuse me,
I don't understand. I can't get through the presentation up there. Gonna yell. Okay, we're gonna give him a second. And I have to, can you hold that? Because I've got it. Okay. I hear you. We hear your concerns. But costs are still going up for the county. Unfortunately, our operating costs are going up. We are hearing from every department that the money needed to operate those businesses in their departments is going up. Local governments are facing what the National Association of Counties is calling the big shift. We have had a lot of unprecedented cost shift from the federal and state government to local governments. So, the county has also rolled back the millage rate for 2 consecutive years in 2023 and 2024. And most counties' departments are still operating off their 2023 budgets. So you'll see this chart, and it breaks down the millage rate for 2020, 2021, 2022, 23, and 24. You'll see 2020, 2021, 2022, the millage rate remained the same. In 2023, the board adjusted the millage rate down. In 2024, the board also adjusted the millage rate down. So the 3.7 millage rate increase equals to about $27 million estimated. So what calculations were used to arrive at that number? So 2025, we already talked about the amended expenditures for $6,482,741. Next, we're going to talk about some potential or mandated costs, and then we have some multi-year inflationary costs. So we discussed the BOC approved and amended expenditures through July 31st. So now we're going to talk about some potential or mandated recurring expenditures. So here are some things that will be coming for us. Number one, the sheriff overtime and premium pay at $1,400,000. We've got some state mandated new judicial appointments at $1,500,000. Our general liability insurance has increased by $1,900,000. We've had IT software and technology upgrades that are mandatory for $1,500,000. Our healthcare fund prior year shortfall, we're ready to pay that for $2,400,000. The healthcare fund for this year shortfall, $2,400. The pension fund contribution shortfall, $2,500,000. And then there are some ARPA grant positions that we're carrying forward for $1,013,929. Excuse me. And so the county administration also needs to look at multi-year accumulated inflation. Because the millage rate stayed the same and was rolled back for 2 years, we have to account for the inflation that we have now incurred. So that is where you see the $5 million from. So I know some of you have heard about the Douglas County Reinvestment Plan. And what that reinvestment plan is a commitment by the Douglas County government per our strategic plan to invest $100 million over the next year. We started 2 years ago, so it's a 36-month plan. Of that plan, I'm going to just show you some of the things that have been built throughout or that are coming. Now, those investments will be made in these strategic goal areas: public safety, infrastructure and facilities, economic development, quality of life, such as recreational facilities and programs. So you'll see listed here the facilities that we are either renovating or we are building. And so the second slide shows the other facilities. You can't see it, okay, I'll go back and read it. So the first one is the Boundary Waters Aquatic Center improvements for $1,500,000. The renovation of the Selman Drive Library for $5 million. Winston Park improvements for $5 million. A new Farabeen Road Senior Center for $6 million. A new coroner's facility for $1.9 million. A DOT maintenance facility for $3 million. Next, we have a new DOT administration building for $2,500,000. The landfill transfer station recycling center for $6,200,000. A backup E911 facility for $5 million. We had to make space in the courtroom in the courthouse for the new judges, so we acquired a development service annex for $5 million. Renovation of the public health facility for $4 million, and improvements to Post Road I-20 interchange for $1.5 million. We also had the Spine Road project for $4,200,000. The new Manchester sidewalk project for $1 million. Stewart Mill intersection project for $3 million. The Chattahoochee Trail project, most of that is grant funded, $18 million. Highway 5 at Douglas Boulevard, $1.5 million, and the Liberty Road intersection for $150.
If you could just stop for just 1
Okay.
minute, Assistant County Administrator. Citizens of Douglas County, you're our bosses. And I know that you expect for us to respect you. And we have someone here who's speaking who's our chief of staff. You don't have to agree. We just listening. We're like you, the Board of Commissioners, we're listening. If we could just please just be respectful and just listen, and then this too shall pass, and then we'll get to what we want to hear from all our citizens. But I'm trying to move her along. So please help me.
And so all of those buildings and things that you saw were funded by our SPLOS, which the county's portion, $113,360 million. The American Rescue Plan, we received funds from the federal government for $28,425,412. And then our Community Development Block Grant for $750,000. So the projects that you see listed there, the vast majority of those funds are from those three funding sources, as well as other grants. So what is the value of a meal? The value of a meal in Douglas County is $7,785,396. What effect will the proposed 3.7 millage rate increase have on the average Douglas County household? So as discussed in the video, per a $350,000 house, if the millage rate is approved by the Board of Commissioners, the amount would be $496 a year, or if you do it monthly, it's $41 a month. So here's a monthly cost breakdown. With this monthly cost breakdown, we're just showing you monthly where your dollars go from the millage rate increase. So $13.12 goes to general government. So I had a question earlier, what is general government? General government are all the departments that don't go into the other categories. So that is your human resources, information services, county administration, records, all of your general government departments that don't fit in one of these other categories. The next category is judicial system. $6.15 of that millage rate increase would go to the judicial system. Public safety, $13.94 of that would go to public safety. Public works, $2.46 would go to public works. Health and welfare gets 82 cents of that millage rate increase. Parks and Rec gets $2.87, and Planning and Community Development gets $1.64. So what happens if the millage rate is not raised? The County Administration Office will consider recommending the following measures, but these measures have to be approved by the Board of Commissioners. We would make adjustments to the budget to offset the costs. We would cut or scale back on services. We would continue to deliver services at a new cost, or we would delay or cancel discretionary investments. So what are some, we've had this question, what are some fiscal controls that the county has in place? So the first one is we do produce a monthly financial report that is published with the agenda and voted on by the Board of Commissioners at the second legislative session of the month. So we do provide that information, it's voted on by the Board of Commissioners, and it is available to the public. We have finance committee meetings. They're scheduled for quarterly, but our Chairman Mitchell of that committee, and our Vice Chairman, Chairman Raxton, have been meeting more than monthly to stay abreast of these issues for the millage rate. We also have a mid-year and end-of-year budget retreat. Now, I want to say this because someone said this earlier. When we say retreat, we mean we go to a local place. We're there for 4 or 5 hours. We talk. There's no hotel stay. We just call it a retreat. It's a meeting. And the county also has fiscal policies that include a debt policy and fund balance policy. So, for the 2026 budget process, that process has already begun. And the County Administration Office is committed to doing a concise assessment of county operations to ensure that we have examined all operating costs to provide the Board of Commissioners with a comprehensive fiscal year 2026 budget. And so, I just want to state, this is the last thing, whatever the Board of Commissioners decide, we will manage our resources efficiently. We will work very hard to make sure that we can maintain as many services as possible for the citizens of Douglas County. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Madam Assistant County Administrator. We appreciate you taking the time to just review our budget. So can you hear me now? I just want to make sure. I'm trying to put my bass in my voice. Okay, now we will open the public hearing. This is a time where everybody can be engaged and give us your opinions and ideas. Please, I ask if we could just please manage the way you're behaving just for a second so we can get everybody lined up, please. Can you hear me now? You can't? All right. There we go. There we go. All right. Okay, if you could, ma'am, thank you for being here tonight. If you could state your name and your address, and you have the floor. You have the floor
Chairman,
for...
Could I just go over the...
Yes, please go over the rules. Thank you.
So when you get to the podium, if you could please restate your name clearly in the mic and your address. And just remember, you have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your 3 minutes are up, we'll ask you to wrap up your comments. And if you could hold any clapping till after the speaker has finished. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, if you could just hold the cheering and clapping until all speakers have finished. You can go ahead.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Wanda White. I live at 6640 Pine Knots Drive in Douglasville. I've lived in this county for 66 years. I've watched it decline. And I have a few quick concerns. I only have 3 minutes. The data centers bring in revenue. Where's the money? The Board of Commissioners must do its homework. Stop hiring people with questionable past. Stop believing everything you're told. Verify it yourself. We are paying mega salaries to people working for other counties and their own companies. If they're on Douglas County payroll, they should be only working for Douglas County. The Georgia Department of Audit says Douglas County is non-compliant in 2024. That means lost state grants. How many grants have we lost? We haven't received a single financial award since 2021. Efficiency is a lie. Since this administration came in, things have gone downhill. Audits are late year after year. 2022 audit was late 155 days. 2023, the audit was late 300 days, almost a year. 2024, we're already 49 days late. This started with the new administration. Why? Employees warned the Board of Commissioners. You ignored them. Now seasoned staff are gone. At least several have left and walked out of finance. Open records are being denied. I know because this has happened to me. What are y'all hiding? Denial means no transparency. Employees who follow the law are punished, suspended, or terminated. That is retaliation. That is corruption. P-card abuse and fraud continues. I've sent emails, no answers, no reply. Instead, a commissioner posted my personal emails on social media. How inappropriate and disrespectful. And still no acknowledgement of my email. If aides can answer emails, then we need to stop paying them. Leadership doesn't show up every day, just a few times a month. That's not leadership. That's a theft of taxpayers' dollars. County cars are used as personal vehicles. Gas paid by us since 2016. Nothing's been done. All this money adds up. The administration can't meet deadlines, can't manage finances, can't tell the truth. The Board of Commissioners must act, hire competent leaders, order a forensic audit, stop the waste, stop the cover-ups. The Douglas County citizens deserve accountability and not excuses. Thank you.
My name is Deanna Brown. I live at 9945 Ashton Old Road, Douglasville, Georgia. Whew. All right, so I had to write my stuff down because I get a little nervous. But I stand before you today as a Douglas County resident to express my opposition to the proposed millage rate increase. What troubles me most is not only the size of the increase, but this process itself. The burden has been placed on the citizens to show up here, speak out, and beg not to have our taxes raised. It is the responsibility of elected officials to represent us and do the difficult work of cutting unnecessary spending before reaching deeper into our pockets. I do understand that part of your effort is to invest in Douglas County, to make it a place where people want to move, to stay, and spend their money. That is a worthy goal. But raising the property millage rate by over 33% may undermine this effort. If families feel they can't afford to live here, they'll leave. If new residents see our tax burden climb, they may choose another place to live. Growth and investment should be encouraged by efficient and responsible budgeting, not discouraged by overtaxing the very people you want to attract and retain. I urge you to reject this increase, look harder for efficiencies, eliminate waste, and manage our tax dollars with the same discipline that residents must use in our own households. Please do not place yet another burden on homeowners who are already carrying enough.
Linda Kripe, 5915 Dorset Bridge. I think you guys are used to me, and this feels like deja vu to me a little bit. But I want to talk to a few things. First and foremost, sorry, I don't usually do that, so I usually speak pretty loud. First and foremost, I just saw in the presentation, I've seen this a couple of times now, where you had a budget for 2024 of $130 million. You had to amend the budget by $7 million because you already overspent $7 million. So you amended it to make that. Does that sound right? Why not keep the $130 million budget that you originally had? Now, if we're doing this math right, and you have a $27 million increase that you're proposing on top of the 137, you're talking about us having a $164,000 budget. Does that sound right?
Millions.
I'm sorry, so
It'll be
$164
millions.
million budget. Thank you. Are we for that? No. Anybody want to stand against that? Yes. Stand up then. Douglas County Board of Commissioners, this is what you have to consider. This is a small portion. I mentioned a small representation. I mentioned this morning at the meeting that we have a petition floating around that we only had 1,000 people that had already signed it this morning. We're already up another 400 people just from this morning. So tell me, who hasn't signed the petition in here? Are you willing to sign it? That's what you have to consider, because this Board of Commissioners is considering, not everybody, and I do know this, according to this morning, but you've got 3 commissioners that are not committing to not increasing the budget. 3. And we want all of y'all to not increase the budget.
I'm short. Sorry. Hi, my name is Nancy Harrison. I live at 8301 Redbud Drive, West Douglas County. Got a few comments and questions. When I was in high school, a very long time ago, a required class taught students how to budget their money. Did any of you have that type of class? Obviously not. Previously, I was employed by 2 very large corporations in Atlanta, both of which I was involved in budgeting process. Annually, we would look at what we had to spend, as well as our wish list and what we could work in. There was disappointment, understandably, when everything could not be included, and it was decided that if we wanted those line items, we would have to make cuts elsewhere. That's how budgeting works. Another example of budgeting is your family expenses. You bring home a certain amount of income and learn to live within your means. Again, if you want something additional, you make sacrifices to try and save for that item. I would imagine you don't go to your neighbor and expect them to pay for whatever it is. You see what you are proposing, a tax increase, is the same thing as we are your neighbors. Last week, I requested a copy of the 2026 budget. I was told I had to go through some office to see the additional monies that it was needed for. Something was deemed extremely so necessary, we have to raise taxes. To my surprise, I was told that the budget wouldn't be completed until October. So please tell me, how can you be so certain you have to raise the millage rate to make up for the shortfall when the budget hasn't even been finalized? Seems to me the cart's being put before the horse. I've been very lucky in my life. I've reached senior citizen status. So I am exempt from paying school taxes, but my home's taxes are still there. I know many seniors living on a fixed income. They fear losing their homes because they can't afford taxes, because they don't have the extra money. My final words to you are, please take a look at the budget again, see what can be done, and make adjustments to raise our taxes. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Shelley Davis, 4199 Greenfield Drive. Board of Commissioners, I'm a lifetime resident of this county, and my taxes went up $300 a month. But we're within budget, right? And now you're proposing another tax increase for 2026. But now you say its cost went up, right? Why not cut your expenses? Why not save the $4 million off the buses that are basically hardly even being used? That's going to save that $13.94 millage rate for public safety. Wouldn't it save it? It would if you cut that out. Why not cut some of those expenses? Where is your budget covering those costs? Bottom line, find another way. Find another way to find your way of mismanaging funds. Tax increases are taxation to death. This year isn't even over with, and you're already counting on the future dollars out of citizens' paychecks to cover your shortfalls. Again. Let's not talk about school taxes in this county, because why am I paying $3,500 a year for school taxes? What has Douglas County done to show for that? The schools? What has he shown? Businesses and restaurants are leaving by the masses.
No, you're fine. I was trying to make sure everybody's listening to you.
Businesses and restaurants are leaving by the masses to get out of this county, and no one is coming to Douglas County to replace them. And the ones that do will leave just as fast when you give them their first tax hike year after year after year. They will leave. And why would they stay? Overtaxing our citizens and running businesses out is not the solution. So how is a county that keeps building homes and adding residents always broken in a deficit? But you're within budget. You're within budget though, right? And why does the county stay in the news for your continued alleged corruptions? If you were truly managing this county appropriately, you would not be on the news, and you would not be increasing taxes every year on your citizens. In closing, and as a citizen of this county my entire life, you got me here in person tonight for the first time. That's how livid I am, if you can't tell, okay? Enough is enough. I strongly oppose this proposed millage rate increase, ranging from 15 or 33 or whatever number you want to try to hike at all. And I will say it on record that yes, we definitely need another official investigation.
Hello, I'm Krista Pugh, 4901 Old Briar Trail. And I'm also here because I don't agree with the tax increase. In my opinion, it causes an economic strain on all the residents. Many households, they're already stretched because of inflation, rising utility bills, the increased cost of living. Raising the property taxes would just add another financial burden, especially to the low and middle class families that are here. Seniors are on a fixed income. I'm sure you guys have elderly family, and you understand on a fixed income, increases like this they could possibly lose their homes. So they're either gonna have to sell them or they're gonna go up for foreclosure. Myself, as a single mom that works hard, works 2 jobs, I'm gonna have issues. Just a little amount like that is huge to someone else. There's risk for displacement. Higher property taxes definitely lead to an increase in rent and housing instability. Long-term homeowners, particularly the elderly, they're going to be forced to move or sell their house. And I think that we can encourage fiscal accountability. Instead of raising taxes, the county should focus on responsible budgeting, cutting inefficiencies, auditing spending, and looking at the essential services. And it hurts our local economic growth as well. Yes, we have some people that are coming in, some businesses that are coming in. These tax hikes are gonna quickly get businesses out as well. And timing matters. Implementing a tax hike during these uncertain economic times, it sends the wrong message to all of us. It tells us that we cannot trust you guys as our elected officials. So, in summary, I'd like to say raising property taxes in Douglas County risks harming its residents more than helping them. The focus should be on smarter fiscal planning and protecting community stability. I understand that we have needs. I understand that times change and that we need new things. I get that. But at the same time, I think budgeting is going to directly impact that. I don't think asking us, the hardworking citizens of this county, to give out more money is acceptable. I think we can pull together and figure it out. As for the whole sheriff's office, I believe we need public safety. I think it's extremely important. But to have an outside source come in and to pay someone else to do something that we could have our own people do is insane. Thank you for your consideration.
Good evening, Madam Chair, Board, everyone. My name is Teresa Buckner. I live at 3330 Stony Brook Drive in Douglasville. I come here today, I would like to have been to the other meetings, but I couldn't make it. But I'm concerned. I know this property tax, there's something that's really bothering me, because when my property tax go up, my home value goes up. When my home value goes up, my homeowner's insurance goes up. When it goes up, it went up $1,000 this year, just for 25. I don't live in a $350,000 house. It went up $1,000. I would be paying $2,300 just on homeowners. That's where we've got to stop and think what it's doing. The top is doing, and it's trickling down. My family has been here since the late 1800s. My mother, my grandmother, my aunts and uncles were born across the tracks. My grandfather planted the trees in downtown Douglasville. He planted them at the old courthouse. He worked at the mill. He worked for the county. This place was community. It was built on community. And when you all were elected, you were elected to be our backbone. You're the backbone of our skeletal system. If you crumble, we crumble, but we go down hard because our backbone gave away. They let us down. I'm asking you tonight not to let the citizens down. Let the citizens get a break here and there. We're all suffering. We have not just seniors and people on disability. Myself, my husband, my sister, my daughter, we all do children at Christmas in need. We get monetary donations and we get toys. Last year, just us alone, we did 78 children by ourselves. I'm scared. I'm scared this year I will not be able to meet the needs of these children, and I can't sleep at night. When you wake up Christmas morning, $500 may not sound like a lot to you, but that covers 2 or 3 children's Christmas. That covers food for a couple of weeks. You know, that covers medication. We're picking between medication and food, utilities and food. Do we pay the mortgage? Do we lose the house? And people that are renting don't realize that's why their rent is going up. It is not the landlords. It's the property tax, the insurance, the property values. And I ask the backbone of this community tonight to represent the skeleton, and that would be us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sandra Moore, 7036 Rose Lake Circle.
Can you speak up? Yes.
Okay. Sandra Moore, 7036 Rose Lake Circle. I was here this morning at the meeting, but this evening, I bring in 5 additional people, okay? I need each and every one of you all to look in their face when the property tax go up, because earlier this morning, you all kind of like hit it on. You already made your decision, right? So when they can't get what they need, not what they want, but what they need. I want you to be able to sleep at night knowing that their need was not met because of your decisions, okay? It's just like this evening. When I left here, my high schooler, I had to go pick her up. This is the second day in a row because the bus was not there, okay? On top of, then I leave here and I thought about it. I said, now, the budget is gonna pass on you all hands. And then the next thing we're here, that then you all are asking for a pay increase. Shame on you. It just happened in Austell, and now we are here. Property tax went up last year, and now we're here at the millage. We're just paying taxes on top of taxes, but then at the same time, we hear where we want tax breaks. Where's the tax breaks? We're not getting them. So that is my concern. I'm not for it.
Good evening. My name is Callie Huber from 4226 South Martin Way in Lithia Springs. I know I don't know everything about you as leaders or about how this government is run, and I understand that some of what has been said in these meetings may not be completely factual despite our best efforts as concerned and involved citizens. But what I do know for a fact is that I am a homeschooling mom of 4 children, 9 and under, and that $41 a month is the difference between my child getting to learn a musical instrument or not. $496 is the difference between getting to buy all of my kids their school curriculum for the year or only getting to buy enough for one kid. $41 a month, or apparently $496 a year, is the difference between getting to buy my contacts so I can see and safely drive or not. While I am grateful for libraries, $41 a month is the difference between getting to buy gas to take my children to these libraries or not. Instead of overspending on renovating and building new libraries, why don't you use funds wisely enough to maintain and properly stock the libraries we do have and leave us enough money to get to them? Instead of the government getting creative and intentional, it's proposed that every single one of us is supposed to come up with an extra $496 a year. Where am I supposed to get this extra money? I can't go ask my boss for a raise just because my bills went up. I have to find a place to cut my expenses. I already buy stuff, off-brand versions of everything, buy our clothes at thrift shops, and cook 3 meals from scratch at home every single day. We only see the inside of a restaurant or drive-through fast food maybe 3 times a year, truly. We don't have family close by, so we maybe go on 6 dates a year because the cost of a babysitter plus the date is too much for our budget as is. I cut my own hair, and all of our kids and my husband's as well. Our big vacations are 6-hour road trips in the minivan stocked with an ice chest of food and 1 night crammed in a $50 hotel before coming right home. Our Amazon wish list is full of items we need to replace in our house because they're broken, but we're waiting till they go on sale. So where do I cut? Do we stop the family tradition I've had since I was 5 years old and not go get ice cream as a family the one time a year we go on the first day of school? That at least would save us the $41 that we would need for August. That's it. Financial stability doesn't just depend on how much money you make. It depends largely on how you use your money. Our government having more money doesn't increase our confidence in our leaders, and it doesn't help build our community. Our government leaders using the money we already give them, with wisdom, creativity, intentionality, and integrity does. Many of us citizens barely have enough money to give us security right now. Don't tear this community and families apart by taking even more.
My name is Nora Healer from 4226 South Martin Way in Lithia Springs. In the video presentation, we were told that tax increase for all of us would be roughly $41 a month or $496 a year from those that qualify for the homestead discount. How are we supposed to trust that our money is being used responsibly when the people deciding where our money is going are telling us that 41 times 12 is 469? It's not. I appreciate the effort.
No.
I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort in showing us a breakdown where our money could be going. But if they can't be bothered to do simple good third grade math problem correctly for a brief presentation of their own proposed plans, how can we trust them to handle all the details of million dollar projects they're doing with our parents' money? If I can understand that if there is rounding involved to get that estimated number, but at least show us that you can be consistent and logical. Sometimes we can't buy strawberries or raspberries because the prices are too high already. And if property taxes increase and we have less money to get things we need, we will probably buy them a lot less than we already do. I like strawberries and raspberries a lot. Please vote no. Please don't increase our property taxes.
Thank you so much.
Jeremiah Paranack, 3040 Beaumar Road. Can you hear me? No. 3040 Beaumar Road, Jeremiah Paranack. Just a couple of comments. You all have seen me here before. I haven't seen most of you here. Okay, I ain't defending you, so don't get too much of it, but I will say I've had really positive interaction. I've got no reason to believe that this Board of Commissioners is not capable of driving our county in the right direction. I have every indication that most of this board has extremely high character. I've got no question about that. And if they don't have high character, I think it was the Dred Scott case with one dissenter proved to be right. People can change their minds. I believe in repentance. I think people have a decision, and even people who don't always do. Anyway, I've said enough about that. This board is capable. What doesn't work is division. Now, why in the world is Atlanta News not out here? This is America. I've not seen so much of America. If anybody had any doubt that America was dead or hurting, you can't tell what group any of these folks belong to. They belong to Douglas County. They're defending their home. They're defending their county. This is something to embrace. This is something to strengthen. A house divided cannot stand. This is, a couple football analogies. This is 4th and 1. For some of you people who watch YouTube, this is 4th and 1. And I think there's without a doubt we're going to get the ball across the line to gain. If not, we're going to have to put a new courthouse in the budget next year. I don't think there's any question about that. So the grandstanding and all that, look inside yourself. You leave it up to them. We're getting this fixed, and you want to come out and blame them. I'm going to blame them too if they vote wrong. But this stuff's complicated. He's sophisticated. He really ought to be steering the ship right. Ma'am, you did a wonderful job presenting for him. Okay, the volunteers, my other football analogy, that bright orange T-shirt back there represents my alma mater of the University of Tennessee. Now, I'm going to tell you, Georgia's strong because Tennessee's strong, and Tennessee's strong because Georgia's strong, and the SEC's strong because it's like that all over. I ain't going to talk sports, but I'm going to just point your attention to the mascot of the University of Tennessee. It's one of the highest characters of human quality, a volunteer. All right, so I've got probably some more stuff. Fox in a hen house, it's our job to fix. You'll probably cancel the meeting. I would encourage you to do that and move on because we got to go to work in the morning. I know I do, and I've got other issues to tend to, but.
Mr. Jeremiah.
Yes, ma'am.
The bell just.
17 has a 5-year commitment. It's presented on this agenda as a $600,000 gig.
Yes, sir.
It's a $5 million 4-year commitment. This stuff's complicated, y'all.
Okay.
I would encourage you to give these people a break and show them more regularly. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jeremiah. Thank you.
My name is Brandy Weems, and I live at 4396 Donegal Circle in Lithia Springs.
Okay, let's give some respect to
I'm a lifelong resident of Douglas County, and I'm a registered nurse employed in Douglas County.
Okay.
I've worked in infectious disease for the past 9 years, and I see some of the sickest patients in this county. I'm a homeowner myself, but I'm here to advocate for the people I serve in this community. Many of them have worked their entire lives, raised families here, and have poured into this community we all call home. Some cannot work due to chronic or life-altering diagnoses. Now they live on fixed incomes, carefully budgeting every dollar from Social Security, disability payments, or small pensions to cover food, medicine, or utilities. Even the smallest increase in property taxes can feel crushing for them. For some, it means skipping meals to make sure they can afford their medications. For others, it means living without air conditioning in the summer or heat in the winter because they simply cannot stretch their dollars any further. These are heartbreaking choices that no human being should ever have to make. I see the fear in their eyes when we talk about how they will afford medicines not covered by insurance plans. I hear the worry in their voices when they wonder how they choose between paying for medicines or paying their mortgage payment. These are not luxuries they're holding on to. They are fighting just to maintain stability and dignity. I understand that tax revenue is needed for important services, but I ask you to consider the human side of this decision. Look for ways to cut your budget and protect the sickest, most fragile citizens of Douglas County. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Board. My name is Dylan Dye, and I reside at 4438 Elmwood Court, Winston, Georgia. First, I want to thank all of y'all for giving us the opportunity to speak. As a 22-year-old just starting out life, the cost of living is already overwhelming. Housing, car insurance, food, they're all becoming increasingly unaffordable. To raise the millage rate because the county budget cannot be met feels astronomical. I've lived in Douglas County my entire life, and my family has deep roots here. Yet with property taxes climbing year after year, it is becoming really impossible for young people like myself to even consider purchasing a home in this community. I also want to address the concerns about transparency and accountability. In 2023, there were county employees investigated by the GBI for the misuse of purchasing cards. Incidents like this raise questions. Where's the accountability? Where's the transparency that taxpayers deserve before asking us citizens yet for another tax increase? On behalf of myself and many other concerned citizens, I urge this board to reject the proposed millage increase. Instead, I ask you to demonstrate fiscal responsibility, accountability, and transparency before turning again to the taxpayers for more money. Thank you for your time and consideration. I pray God gives you the wisdom to make the right decision.
Can y'all hear me? Okay,
Yes.
Hello. My name is Robin Gowers. I stay at 6141 Shadowwood Lane, Douglasville, Georgia. This is the homeowner of this property. His name is Stephen Ronald Schiffman. He's not here to be, not able to be here today, but I will explain that in a moment. Nevertheless, I am new. I only been in Douglas County for 2 years. I followed my daughter out here who stays right around the corner from me. The couple of questions that I have is that right there, what is that? On Highway 5, you go around one corner, you got the city cops. Go around the other corner, you got the sheriff's department. No disrespect to nobody, but they seem like they sit there and they poach off of people. And I hear you all talking about the budget, but where's the money that's coming from all the tickets that's being written? Why is that a hidden secret? And why there's no open disclosure about how much money is flowing through the traffic department or the courthouse or whatever the case for the traffic tickets? In addition to, they talk about the sheriffs with the overtime. No disrespect to you all, but when I used to work at the hospital, I was doing full-time as a senior secretary and overtime as a phlebotomist. The phlebotomist supervisor came to me and said, Robin, we can't afford you. I said, what do you mean? She said, we pay you more in overtime than we pay our regular people. So for the sheriffs, instead of doing overtime, why don't you hire regular people or regular hour folks instead of paying overtime? My last few minutes of what I want to use, and I've been into you all's office or the commissioner's office, and I've been running in and out of this courthouse for the past 2 years. This man, Stephen Ronald Schiffman, is an 81-year-old man. I came to this courthouse seeking assistance with the probate court. I am his successor trustee and his appointed beneficiary. Folks look at me and say, where's his family? He does have a living sister. He has a niece and he has a nephew. His sister has told me, thank you, Robin, for taking care of my brother. I have the court, although she violated her own order because I did not amend my petition, She said on January the 7th, if I did not do an amended petition to add his sister, she would dismiss the case. She did not. This is Valerie V. Villa. Nevertheless, on June 6th, June 9th, July 2nd, and July 3rd, I filed a notice in her office in regards to the court-appointed conservator that she assigned to Mr. Schiffman. The last one that I filed on July 2nd and July 3rd was because the conservator for over a month did not pay the water bill and caused the water to be shut off. Instead of them removing her from his case on July 7th, the order was signed. On July 10th, 7 sheriff's officers with the Department of Human Services showed up to our home, removed Mr. Schiffman, had him pack a few bags, relocated him to Griffin, Georgia, where he is today. No one has spoken to him outside of me. No one has explained to him why they had done it. It was the spirit of retaliation. They might try to tell you it's in regards to foreclosure. July 10th, no foreclosure date. July 16th, no foreclosure date. July 23rd, no foreclosure date. July 28th, no foreclosure date. August 7th, no foreclosure date. August 14th, no foreclosure date. Because it is a third-party debt collector. Mr. Schiffman purchased, one moment, Mr. Schiffman moved into his home and purchased his home in 2001.
Miss Robin.
I'm almost done.
Okay, wrap it up.
July, Mr. Schiffman purchased his home 2001 for $127,000.
Miss
1 second.
Miss Shipman, you can.
3 minutes?
Yeah, they're up. Your minutes are. Yes.
Okay. This man was removed from his home, and no one acts like they care.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am.
All right, good evening.
Okay,
My
point of
name
order.
is Jeanette Phillips.
Okay.
I reside at 9975 Ashton Old Road in Tributary.
You need to speak up. Thank
Speak
you.
over her?
Okay, you have the floor.
Good evening, my name is Jeanette Phillips. I live at 9975 Ashton Old Road in Tributary. I'm here, I just want to talk about, I've lived in Douglas County for 4 years. My first year after closing on my home, my taxes were $507. That was still the builder. Second year, $6,095.84. 2023, $6,800. 2024, $7,500. All right, and now you're proposing another increase. I believe that our homes are valued still based on pandemic era prices when it was a seller's market and you could get a whole lot of money for your house. I don't think I can get $500,000 for my house right now. All right, but that's what I'm being assessed at, and then, from there I get my exemptions. Our property values are high, but we spend our money in other counties because there's nothing here for us to do. We have no shopping centers, we have no restaurants, we have nothing. But our property taxes continue to increase. I heard that you said, and this is not directed at you, but in the presentation, that if you didn't approve the millage increase, that you would then look at where you could cut costs, where you could, roll back some expensive stuff. That should be done first. This should not be a situation where, we're going to do this and we're going to try to pass the buck onto you, and only if you push back, then we're going to look at cutting costs. Look at cutting costs first, right? And then come to us and say, this is what we're proposing, because we've made all of these cuts. What? Oh, speaking of what we have seen going up as far as building and stuff like that, apartments, there's probably 6 of them on Riverside Parkway alone. They're not filled.
Raise your voice.
There's about 6 apartments that have been built on Riverside Parkway alone. They're not at full capacity, and they keep going up. No offense against renters, but when you're renting, if you don't like something, you can pick up and move. When you live here, you have to try to sell your home or fight to try to, you know what I'm talking about. I see warehouses, I see data centers. I don't see anything that is of value to those of us that live here. I don't see anything that's here that's going to make the next person that wants to purchase a home in Douglas County. That's where our focus needs to be. This proposed increase is not only a bad legislative policy, it is an economic eviction notice. We're not going to have any choice. You're going to get a bunch of those investment companies coming in, swooping in, buying our properties at pennies on the dollar because we can't sell to anybody, and then what? I've seen it happen in other counties that I've lived in. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is R.D. Dewberry. I live at 7220 Lorraine Lane. I have been in the county now for 4 years. I come from Arizona originally. 31 years ago, I started a company when I was 19 years old. We celebrated our 31st anniversary this year. That's pretty astounding considering I work in the travel industry. We have survived 2 global economic meltdowns and the pandemic by never going over our budget. Now, I'd like to speak to all of you. I'm sure you're competent managers. You talk about this. But I will make one thing clear, and I think the entire audience will speak with this one, to say, you need to vote on this tax increase as if your job's dependent on it, because they do. If my company ever went over a fiduciary situation, what do you think would happen to me as the president and CEO of the company? I would be terminated. Y'all are in the same seat right now. Raising our taxes without going over the budget first and then not even having audits ready? If I did that, I would be in prison. So please, I ask you, all of you, every one of you, to look at this tax proposal very carefully. Because if you raise our taxes, we're coming for your jobs. And I can assure you, Douglas County does not forget anything. Thank you very much.
Praise Jesus, I made it to the front. Anybody want a Lottie Game patch? These cost about
Excuse me,
$20.
could you speak in the mic, please?
These cost about $20.
We need your name and address. Did you provide
My
your name?
name, I'm going to do that in a second.
Thank you.
My name is Shalia Glass, and I am actually a resident of Douglas County as of 3 years ago.
Thank you, Ms. Glass.
These Lottie King patches are expensive. Just like your tax break currently, and tax increase, not break. I moved down here from Boston, Massachusetts, because of disability. And because of my disability, I was unable to get up my steps. I had a 6-bedroom, 2-bath, and I had to downsize. And I chose this county because of the innovation here, because of the ability to grow my vegetables, because I love flowers, I love butterflies, as you can see, and I love to grow vegetables. And I also have to stay on a budget. I need 2 of these a month. I have a physical disability which caused me to retrieve, to revive. I own a 6-bedroom, 2-bath up north, and I couldn't get up and down my stairs. I currently look at myself as a house firefighter. I am on a strict budget with 2 children in college and 1 autistic child in my care. As their mother and their last living parent, because this is my late husband, and I wanted to make sure he's with me on this. As their mother and their last living parent, I face pressure due to the rippling effects and I find this mileage hike unjust, as the only solution is to raise taxes on our property. Us as a body, I have to ask why the first public hearing was held on August 11th. When Henry Mitchell stated he knew this was coming a year ago. How do you represent us as a body when you live in District 4? I am concerned as a widow, as a mother, and as a homeowner. I am doing my part in my community. I volunteer. I attend gatherings in my community. I plan on attending the Citizens Academy. But if I was married and I waited until it was time to go to the event to tell my husband, who is no longer with us, and I need 2 of these a month, which is your proposed tax hike right now, if I told him that I needed gas in the car before I came to the meeting, then how was he going to do his part? You're now telling me as a widow, a mother, and as a homeowner that I can't plan to attend a Villa Rica rodeo because of your overspending. My goal for speaking isn't just to be heard, but to find solutions. Increasing the tax budget, on my end isn't going to solve the accountability and the overspending in our community. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Catherine Mitchell. I live at 5773 West Phillips Mill Road. Good evening. I have been a resident of Douglas County for 38 years. This is my home. 5 years ago, I built my dream house here. It's where my husband and I are raising our family. But with the way property taxes keep rising, I can't help but wonder how much longer we'll be able to stay before we too are forced to sell and leave like so many of our friends already have. I watched today's earlier meeting, so I won't waste time rehashing what others have already said. The frustration we feel is obvious. The bottom line is this: if it were your money and you were grossly overspending, you wouldn't raise your income, you'd cut expenses. That's what any responsible person would do to survive. That's what needs to happen here. Frankly, bringing a proposal like this before us feels like a slap in the face. It's out of touch with the financial reality your constituents live with every day. I want to acknowledge Commissioner Alcarez and Kenner Jones for their comments earlier today. Your comments after the meeting gave me hope. Hope that someone up there is actually listening and understands the severity of this situation. But I was troubled by Commissioner Mitchell's remarks. He said, and I quote, "I saw this over a year ago that financially we were in trouble, but I heard none of you." He added, "I saw this coming over a year ago." If you saw it coming, Commissioner, then why did your votes not reflect that awareness? It's not whether or not you heard from us. Your job is to lead proactively. Sorry. If you recognize financial trouble ahead, you had the responsibility to act, regardless of public input. We've also heard that tough decisions will need to be made, and not everyone will be happy. At this point, I think I speak for many when I say, I don't care who inside these walls is unhappy with necessary cuts. Make them. In today's political climate, it's hard to find consensus, but if there's one thing we all agree on, it's this: we are being overtaxed, especially when we see obvious, unchecked spending. So let me be clear. If you vote yes on this increase, we, the citizens of Douglas County, will remember, and we will unite to ensure that you are never given the opportunity to make these kinds of decisions for us again. Thank you.
Good evening, Board. My name is Lex Lewis. I reside at 6698 Miller Way. Speaking of 6698 Miller Way, my great-grandfather built that house in 1938. It has been there for 83 years. There are currently 4 generations that have lived in that house, and your tax increase will make that 0 generations going forward. That is not okay with me. And what finally got me up here was, according to the supervisor that came out to my house today from the Douglas County DOT, Commissioner Mitchell ordered Kaiser Street, Miller Way, and Marsh Avenue to be cut. I have pictures on my phone where my property was destroyed, my blackberries were gutted, my fence was destroyed in several sections where I had it blocked off to keep trespassers from coming on my property. Now that's completely open to people to come in. There are deer on my property, there are possums, there is wildlife. I have done everything I can to keep some kind of natural thing in my neighborhood, which is a very small neighborhood in Lithia Springs, because people keep moving in and taking meth houses and turning them into meth mansions. So now in the 10 years that I have had the property that was given to me by my great aunt when she passed in 2014, the value of my house has gone up from $77,000 to now it's almost $250,000. And the last time that any kind of work renovations, anything was done on my house? 1977, before I was even born. So where is this extra $180,000 worth of value coming from? Where? I'm not seeing it. I'm not able to replace my roof, and yet you want me to pay another $500 almost a year for what? I can't even get police to come out into my neighborhood to end the gunshots. What people, I have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. They play in my yard. I have people speeding, blowing through stop signs. There are 4 do not enter signs in my around my property because I live around 3 one-way streets. Do you think that ever gets, does anybody come by and do anything about that? No. I almost got hit in my driveway while chopping trees down, and I had the police called on me saying that I came after a family with an axe while getting almost hit in my own driveway by a speeding car because they were driving down a one-way road and didn't pay attention and stop, so that way the other car coming would do anything. And yet you expect me to pay more money. This is atrocious. And I hope that if any of you vote yes for that, I hope you do know that you are destroying families. You are destroying homes. You are destroying legacy.
Thank you.
I'm Deborah McMitchin, and I reside at 5720 Stewart Mill Road, and I am opposed to the millage rate. I am on a fixed income. I'm on disability. It's either roof over my head or food, medicine. So if y'all pass this bill, pass the millage rate, it is going to be detrimental to the seniors, to the disabilities, to everyone, and especially with the kids having to come up not knowing if they're going to be having a house in 3 years. That's just ridiculous. So I want y'all to take responsibility, revamp, and see what we can come up to with the conclusion. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening now. My name is Sherry Ponder, and I live at 7991 West Carroll Road. It's one of the last dirt roads in the county. I'm out there in the boons, and I like it out there. But I am distressed because I'm 62 years old. My husband's lived in this county for 65 years, his entire life. He was born here. He's lived here. We want to stay here. But y'all are making it completely impossible. We're debating, okay, do we sell and get out of here while we can? There's people saying that, hey, I'm going to stay until the dying end of Douglas County. I want to be one of those, but I don't want to see our county go down like this. I mean, this is disgraceful, and it's been pointed out that this is the first time in Douglas County history that this has even happened. And some of you people up here are very educated. Where's your education now? Because it sure ain't doing what you're doing. There's a lot of ways y'all can cut cost, a lot of ways, and you all know it. But God put y'all in the positions you're in, and He expects each and every one of you to uphold the rule of law and be right and true. He wants you to do the right thing. That's why He put you here. But I hope if you vote yes to this, I hope He takes you out quick. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Denisha, and I reside at 5673 Woodland Drive.
Could you restate your name for just a second?
Denisha. And I reside at
What's your last?
Nash.
Okay, Denisha Nash.
I need to repeat my address?
Please.
5673 Woodland Drive.
Thank you, Denisha.
Okay, I'm here because I'm in opposition to this property tax increase, and I'm also insulted by the county administrator from this morning, assuming that the people of this county do not understand when things increase in price. It's extremely disrespectful for her to come here thinking that when we look at our tax bills, we can recognize when things are increasing. We're paying it, right? So I've been a resident of this county, me and my husband and my son, for 3 years. 2021, when we moved into this county, we were happy. We wanted to be here. I went back to 2015, that's almost a decade ago, to see what the property taxes of my home was. It was $315. In 2024, me and my husband paid over $2,700 in property taxes alone. That's over a 700% increase in taxes. That's not even included homeowners insurance, renovations, unexpected life things. My husband had an unexpected health emergency. I totaled my car in a car accident. A tree fell on our neighbor's yard. You just can't, the things just pile up. And when you have commissioners like Mr. Mitchell over here who seems like he's not attentive and then makes statements that we need to do better, it's insulting because we work hard.
Point of order.
We work hard. You have all these senior citizens here who's on a fixed income, people of disability, all these groups of people that have their own struggles. And to sit here and not be paying attention to people and insult their intelligence and insult what they're saying is absolutely insane. And I don't know how you were elected. I don't. Because at the end of the day, my son is homeschooled. I'm paying all this money in school taxes, and people are still complaining about the school systems here in Douglas County. That's a problem. We pay a lot of money. If we're going to pay this money, we need to make sure that whatever we're investing our money in, it needs to be seen and people need to feel the effects. Period. All this, you don't know what this means, you don't understand. It's irrelevant. People cannot afford it. In times of uncertainty is not when you want to try to hike up prices. If you are saying because of inflation, people cannot, because of inflation is the reason why you're hiking up the prices, why would you put that on the people? It is not our fault that you mismanaged. That's not on us. So you don't get the right to blame us for your mishaps. That's unacceptable as a commissioner. You are an elected official here to represent us. Please understand that. And now, that's my time.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Rhiannon Maddox. I live at 8211 Ephesus Church Road. Good evening, commissioners, chairwoman, and neighbors. Thank you for allowing me to speak. As a citizen of Douglas County, I am deeply concerned about the proposed tax increase, as well as the current state of the budget in this county. As a business owner and a wife, I am no stranger to budgeting. In building a budget, needs are always meant to come before wants. You put food on the table before you pay the cable bill, you grow your savings before you go on vacation, and so on. The Board of Commissioners was elected to act in the best interest of the people of Douglas County, and that means putting needs over wants when making and approving the budget. Let me give you some examples of how this is not what is happening. A couple of years ago, a family member started experiencing chest pains. His dad drove him to the closest fire station for help in a life and death situation. Turns out that fire station was not fully staffed around the clock at the time, and he had a heart attack in the parking lot of the fire station. An ambulance had to come from Mirror Lake to transport him to the hospital. I'm not sure about the current staffing of the fire department at this time. Last year, while my blue-collar husband was on night shift, someone attempted to break into our home. I called the sheriff's department, and it took them nearly 20 minutes to arrive. No lights, no sirens, no urgency. Does our police department have the staffing and resources they need to offer adequate services during an emergency? This should come before construction of a park that's 8,000% over budget or rampant spending on P cards. We have a budgeting issue in this county, yes. We also have a spending issue in this county. But on a deeper level, we have a priority issue. And even still, you look us dead in the face and ask for more money. That is the weak way out. The strong way out is to cut the things that need to be cut to allow funds to better serve the community that paid those. You don't make a budget based on how much money you can take. You make a budget based on what you need. Leftover funds then go to wants. That's how every one of us down here is expected to function in society, and it's not unreasonable for us to expect the same from the Board of Commissioners we elected. I urge you to do the hard thing and evaluate where every dollar in the budget is going. to make the cuts that need to be made and to not increase the taxes during a time when simply living is expensive enough. Thank you.
Ryan Graham, 3118 Freedom Court, Douglasville. I've been here since 99 and bought my house shortly after that. And the taxes rose at a normal rate. You know, they go up a little bit every year. That is what it is. And I have all my tax records for this day that I bought my house. And in 2020, my house was, taxes was $1,734. And now in 2024, I just paid $2,523 in 5 years. That's ridiculous. Now, with inflation, yes, costs go up. But with inflation, house values go up. What also goes up? The taxes on that increased value. So you're getting the money. So I don't think it's unreasonable to ask this county. We should be here today talking about a 10% cut, frankly. Thank you. I don't think the whole county needed all new signs throughout it. What was it, last year or the year before? Why? Why did all the stop signs need to be replaced? You want to talk about waste? Let's start looking at the books. And I want to encourage everybody, if you know of problems going on, take it to the grand jury. Start the investigations. You have that right. That's all I have.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Chairman.
Hello,
Commissioners.
Mr. Daniels.
Thank you for the opportunity to come speak tonight. I'm Edwin Daniel. Yes. I live at 8200 East Highway 5, Whitesburg, Georgia, post office mailing. I'm in Douglas County by half a mile. My wife and I bought the property there in 2009. She can't be with me tonight due to inability to walk and stand, so she asked me to speak for her too. Her name is Pamela Daniel. Some of you know her. Most of you have met her or know her. I came to ask you to reconsider this, and I'm going to do something I normally don't. I'm going to be brief, and I know you can't believe that, Mr. Alcatraz.
I thought you were going to sing a song.
But I am. No, I'm not going to sing. They don't even let me sing in church. That clears the church out. Just matter of fact. I'd like to ask everybody in here that's on a fixed income, like my wife and I, we're both retired. All of you that's on a fixed income, quietly raise your hand. Thank you all very much. I forgot I needed to raise too. You know, I don't know any other way to put it. We're talking about just shy of $500 a year additional money. I don't know where we're going to find it. Mm-hmm. You know, we live on a budget. And when our budget doesn't work, we have to cut out the ice cream parlor or something. I can't cut out my tithe. That has to happen. I can't cut out my utilities because I don't like to be cold and I've got to have food. So when we get to looking at cutting, the next thing that we can do with our income is sell our property and move to somewhere in Alabama where it's cheaper. I don't want to do that. I've been in this county most all my life. I came here in September of 1946. Next month, that'll be 79 years. Now, I've been away a time or two. You know, Uncle Sam didn't let me stay here. He was real ugly. But this has been my home. I want it to be my home, and my funeral happened here. And no, I'm not planning to go anytime soon. You can get that smile off. I see it. But, you know, I know that we, Pam and I, are not the only people that's in this fix. So I ask you all to reconsider any kind of tax increase right now. And I was in public safety here for 37 years. 3.5 of those years as a volunteer and 34 on the professional department. I gave that time, and I'm still working for the county part-time. It's not that I need the money real bad. I'll need it if we keep doing tax increases. So I ask y'all to reconsider, think about the folks in this county that's on a fixed income, and we do have the homestead exemption.
Yes,
on
sir.
our property we live on. And I appreciate the county doing that. That's awful good. I appreciate the job y'all try to do, but look at that thing, tighten up them belts, pull in snug, cut out the steaks. Let's have more hot dogs.
Yes.
My name is Jonathan Tyson. I'm at 6831 Tyree Road. Earlier when we started this, with the invocation, we pray to God,
Amen.
And my father had a son, and that's who I desperately try to emulate because I've seen the good that comes from that in my life and in the lives of other people. And there was also a prophet Micah who said, "What does the Lord require of you but to do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with your God?" And so this is the things that I'm asking us to consider, to do justice, to do what is right, listen to the people, look and cut out waste, eliminate positions that were funded by grants that are no longer available, find simple, cost-effective solutions. I drive over the same road every day, and water keeps standing on it, and when people drive over it, it just continues to erode the asphalt. All someone needs to do is go to the shoulder, dig a ditch, let the water drain off. Simple. If the resident can do it, so can government officials. If you don't represent we the people, then you represent the perpetuity of government for its own sake at we the people's expense. So be just. Love kindness. Keep the burden low as costs are still high. Wages have not kept pace. There's no more to wring out of a dollar, and we're wiping the sweat of our brow with them, hoping we can add a drop of hope.
Yes.
Cease adding to the problems that are making the common person a debt slave. The stress of debt causes psychological stress, leads to increased domestic violence, drug use, theft, anxiety, depression, and suicide. If the residents of this county can't thrive, the county can't thrive. And we are Douglas County.
Absolutely.
Walk humbly. Again, going against the will of the people erodes our confidence in our governing institutions. And for many, it supports the idea that those in our governing institutions believe they are of a higher class than the citizens that they were elected to serve. Remember, it takes many more unqualified people to do the same work that qualified people can do. We need affordability and stability, not building a portfolio of bragging rights from being in competition with neighboring counties at the taxpayer's expense. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good evening, Board. Thank you for having me here. My name is Genevieve Harris. I live at 9520 Grand Drive, and I'm speaking as a special needs parent in my household. I do have a special needs son. He does have benefits, but with the property tax increase that is going to go into our budget or seep into our budget where we would have to still continue to pay his medical needs. He does have government benefits, he has government waivers, but that does not cover all of his medications, his therapies, his wheelchairs, his transportation. So I do want you to consider that the property tax increase, as my community have already stated, that it does seep into daily decisions. And I'm not going to choose my property tax over my son's medical needs. So with that being said, being as though my son has medically fragile, has a lot of medical needs and expenses, I also have an expectations that throughout the years, and always have, I've filled out surveys over the years. I've been a resident here for 18 years, to have more accessible infrastructure for individuals in wheelchairs or disabled people. You did make a comment this morning, Ms. Jones, about the intellectual disability community. I am also an advocate for special needs and for those that can't speak for themselves, and for the resources that might be cut for them as a result of government interventions, unfortunately. So I would definitely ask you to please consider focusing on those expenses for our community. There's a large amount of people that cannot speak for themselves in the county. I myself, in addition to being a resident, I also work for Douglas County Public Schools in the special ed department. So I am a parent mentor, so I talk to families every day. And unfortunately, the resources that they may need are not in our county. I'm sending them to Cobb or Fulton or Rockmart or South Georgia. So please consider that as well for your more vulnerable populations and the expenses that we are making for our loved ones who are vulnerable. Second, I'm also a business owner. I have a small business in downtown Douglasville that I've almost had for 10 years. I've survived the pandemic, thankfully, and thanks to my community. They've supported me. But with the proposed increases and exponential tax increases, my clients and members, I might have survived the pandemic, but I may not survive the tax increases. You know, for being in business in 10 years, it's been a blessing. And we love Douglas County. My family loves Douglas County. But, you know, there is no cutting cost on my part because all of the expenses are getting passed to me as a business owner. My landlord owns the property, so of course he's going to extend that expense to me as well. So please consider not voting for that tax increase. It will affect me individually, of course, personally, professionally. I serve my community and also as a professional and a business owner in the county. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Oops. Sorry about that. Oh.
Hello, I'm Tamikis Williams. I live at 6089 Dorset Street. I've been here for 24 years. I raised my daughter here as a single mother. I left Atlanta and came out here. I just wanted to give her something a little different. When I moved out here 24 years ago, and when I look at Douglas County today, I don't see improvements. 24 years, right? My daughter went to school here from elementary all the way through high school and some college. And the schools have not changed. The restaurants have not changed. Nothing has changed but the amphitheater and the graduation center. And when I think about Douglas County, I live here for 24 years. I'm a business owner of 10 years. I'm a mental health therapist. I worked in the school system. I worked for public health here. I worked for Douglas County DFACS here. I've worked in your homes, right? And even in the infrastructure of all those agencies, nothing has changed. I am a mental health therapist out here. I have my own business here. But my concern is everybody keeps saying it's just $41. But as a lot of people spoke today, $41 is a lot of money. And when we think about the cuts that are getting ready to come to those who have Medicaid, those who have Medicare, business owners such as myself, I don't even know if I'm gonna have health insurance next year. And I'm gonna try not to cry.
Don't cry.
But at the end of this year, over 11.8 million people may lose their health care. When you all put that diagram on up here that showed the breakdown of where the $41 is going to go, what was it? Wellness and well-being, and anybody have it up? Okay, well-being, health and welfare was the lowest one. So we're talking about food stamps. We're talking about Section 8. We're talking about every aspect of our life, groceries, the pantries, our nonprofits, all of that. If you look around here, when I think of Douglas, I think of transient. From when I worked in the schools, when I worked at Douglas DFACS, when I've worked here in public health, this community has always been transient. People come in and people go out. Why? I went to a town hall meeting and most business owners was there. You know what we was told when we was asking why Douglas don't partner with the small businesses here? We were told to buy the buildings. Buy the buildings. That's the solution, right? So when you think about passing this, I want you to really think about what $41 do. I want you to think about how much $41 is really going to be come January 1st. I have Georgia Access Health Insurance. I get the subsidy with that insurance. Those in the White House up there are looking to cut the subsidies. The same way they're looking to cut Medicaid, Medicare, VA, and all the other things.
Yes, ma'am.
So I might not have health insurance because if so, it would probably be $800.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you think about $41 don't sound like a lot, but it is a lot when it's coming out of your pocket, when we think about how long people are standing on their feet at work, when we think about all the kids who may end up not eating a dinner
Yes,
because
ma'am.
they're trying to cut the budget when it comes to the schools and free lunch, like think about all the stuff that's getting ready to come down and hit our community.
Miss Williams, the bell rang, but can you wrap it up there?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
But I'm a therapist, so I'm
Oh, come
I
on.
want you to think about what's to come.
Yeah,
What's to come? And that is just in a couple of months.
yes,
And
ma'am.
all of us are going to feel that, including you all and your families.
Yes, ma'am.
So $41 is a lot.
Thank you.
My name's Michelle Chapman. I live at 3710 Cindy Drive. I've been there for 26 years. I'm not living paycheck to paycheck, but I'm lower middle income, and I was raised to make sacrifices to reach goals. I'm 50 years old, almost 51, and I've only owned 3 vehicles in my life because I drive them till the wheels fall off. I have no streaming services, and it's by choice. I choose to do that because my goal is to hopefully retire before I'm too old to enjoy it. Well, now my mom is very elderly, and I'm having to participate in, paying for things for her, of course, because she's obviously a widow on a fixed income. These increases are going to affect, every goal that I might want to reach. I think it's very interesting that one of the things proposed in the budget was premium pay for the sheriff's department and also increased pensions. So I'm going to have to, retire later in life because other people, have, so I can pay for other people's retirements. It feels a little ironic. But I want to say that at 3710 Cindy Drive in 2024, my tax increased 59.3%. If you look up the public record, that's what my tax increased last year, and now we're going to do it again. To me, is just shocking and unacceptable. And I will say that in my reading this morning, I see that in 2000, legislation was passed saying that county government authorities can request a performance review of the County Board of Tax Assessors, doing a thorough and complete investigation. And according to the 2024 Property Tax Administration Annual Report, Douglas County has not been investigated, and I propose we move forward with that.
I'm Christina Quinlan, 2695 Whisper Trail, Douglasville, Georgia, 30135. I've been in this county 34 years. I'm 6th generation. My family's been here for 7 generations. I'm wearing all black today because I may have to have a funeral for the life I built for myself here. A raise of this magnitude could cause me to lose my home, which is paid off. I'm on a fixed income. As well as my grandmother, who's 86 and a native of this county. She's scared she won't be able to live in her budget, just as I am. We're both on fixed income, me for disability, her because she's retired. She worked for this county for the DHR, Division of Rehab Services, and Department of Labor for over 30 years. This is how you repay these people who've served all of us, making it hard to survive because y'all cannot budget your money. This increase is detrimental to those like my grandmother and I. I know I don't look disabled, but I suffer daily, and there's no job out there that'll hire me, keep me. I'm a liability, so I can't even try to make it work if y'all raise these taxes higher. The population of this county has grown exponentially until this year. We only had 1,100 new residents come in. It was in the paper today that amount has more than halved since the prior year. Even with all the new amenities, I believe that this is because of the rising cost of living due to y'all overspending, as well as all the controversial news stories and cases involving all of the crooked elected officials. With a population of 154,197 citizens, and that number growing yearly, how do you need more? When more keeps coming already, the population's rising, new apartments and homes means more revenue, but it's never enough. When I put in my exemptions in 2023, my property taxes went down to $671. The next year, with my exemptions and y'all's millage rate hike, it doubled to $1,251. I went without medicines I needed and sold a car to be able to pay that. This time I don't have anything to sell. I might not live to tell you about it. I strongly oppose this millage rate hike, and I pray that you in good conscience will stop this immediately, because lives are at stake.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Did you?
Thank you. Hey, when I'm done, believe it. Hi.
Hello.
I live at 9510 Parkwood Drive, zip 30135. For context, I have a rare form of muscular dystrophy, which causes my lungs to be at 18% usage of capacity on a good day. So I will try my best to speak up. My name is Ashley Warrington. Some of you may know me as Ashley Wheels, or as that was my name prior to getting married recently, or Cochran if you know my dad. I'm here to speak up about the possibility of our property taxes being raised again. I'm fully against any property taxes being raised. The county is doing a terrible job with their budget, and I call for the governor's office to do a complete and full audit of Douglas County's spending. You have to cut waste and unnecessary spending. As a household, we cut streaming apps, we cut cable, we cut eating out, we stop eating name brands. What don't you do? You add more money that is not there and keep making bills we can't pay for. On a more personal note, to the board in front of me, I behoove you to do a better job of handling your own finances than you're doing with our counties. Because one day, someone will take your position. Your stipends and your large paychecks will be gone. I am a conservative, but I am also disabled and considered low income. I am a wife and a mom. I fit into multiple political categories, so I'm not a one-size-fits-all. In saying that, what I do know is as a citizen of this county, since 1989, when my dad brought me back to his hometown when I was 3, a property owner since 2011, you are not looking out for my best interests. Hopefully, someone's looking out for yours. And if I can figure out how to take one of your seats, take a risk of losing my disability benefits without losing my medical insurance, you best believe I'll bring my own chair. Thank you.
First, giving honor to God, I'd like to say I'm thankful to be able to speak to you today, commissioners. I would like to say that it's a hearts of man issue.
If you could provide your name and address.
My name is Gina Drummond. I live at 7390 Timberlane Drive, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134.
Thank you, Gina.
I think it's a hearts of man issue. I think that we need to take a look at ourselves and ask ourselves, meaning you, why did I run? What did I want to accomplish? What did I want to run for? What was wrong when I looked out at everything that made me want to say, hey, vote for me? Okay? I want you to really ask yourselves that question, because I don't know if it's being asked of yourselves. I know that you say repeatedly that you work for us, but I don't see the evidence of that when we're all here. We're all here right now asking you not to raise the millage rate, pleading. As a woman of God, it hurts my heart when I see people who are older, disadvantaged, physically and mentally handicapped in different ways and different things, and you can't see everybody's handicap. Come up here and stand up here to speak to you and to say this is what we're going through as families. And I know you're not responsible for it all, but pay attention to what you are responsible for. Pay attention to why you were elected. Pay attention to what you can do to make a change. I want you to know that it is a hearts of man issue. Man meaning woman too. I want you to know, Whitney, that what you said this morning was admirable. And I respect what you said standing up there. I want you to know we are paying attention. I want you to know that no matter when you realize that there was an issue, there's accountability today. I want you to know that there's accountability tomorrow. I want you to know that this is not just a meeting thing and what's going on right now. This is a hearts of men issue. The kingdom is watching. Okay, we said a prayer and a pledge of allegiance before we came up here today, did we not? Okay, heaven is watching. Okay, there are people's lives. My parents just moved down here from up north so me and my husband could be closer to them. So they can, maybe the Lord's will, they have a long, prosperous life in their elderly years. But they've been here a year, they bought a home, and their property taxes are already going up, and they're on a fixed income. Come on. There's families that have been here for generations and generations that have the same thing going on. Me and my husband are business owners. We left corporate America to start our own business here in Douglas County, and we're struggling. Main Street is struggling. How are we supposed to stay here? And these big corporations that are here, they are not paying their fair share. They are not paying their fair share. You have to make sure. Mark, I heard you this morning. I heard you, brother. I heard you this morning. You have a beautiful heart. You stand on it. Don't give in. Don't give up. Because people are counting on you. And even if you're not here, oh my God, Kelly, I miss you. I see you in line back there, brother. I want you to know that even when you're not in this position, that you want to be able to stand up and say that you did the right thing for the people. You did the right thing. God bless you in Christ Jesus. I'm praying for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening, Commissioners. Amy McCoy at 9938 Ashton Old Road. The power of civic engagement is definitely present in this room, and I couldn't be more proud. Not only am I here to talk again against the proposed 3.7 mil tax increase, but about the collapse of government itself in Douglas County. The Board of Commissioners is supposed to be the highest local authority. Yet today, that authority has been surrendered to an unelected administrator hiding over in that corner. Dr. David Corbin has consolidated unchecked power. Through his firm, he has collected about $500,000 while rarely being present here in Douglas County. Meanwhile, unqualified appointments, like our current CFO, further weakens financial management. He struggles to even explain the facts. This is not how a Board of Commissioners was designed to function. Accountability is gone. Oversight is gone. And the result of mismanagement, conflicts of interest, and citizens are left in the dark. The chair's authority has been stripped. Departments that should answer to the board now report to, again, that administrator, hiding. And now, on top of this, you want to raise taxes. Let me give you another example that I did last week, just out of fairness, or the lack thereof it. I live on 1/10 of an acre. My land is being assessed at $85,000 for that 1/10 of an acre, just down that same road in a community that does not pay additional city taxes like I do. A half acre is assessed at $62,000. Another neighbor pays taxes on land worth $22,000, and they're on more than a half acre. The disparity is not only inequitable, it is punitive. After my partner passed away, I had to adjust. And so now I have a 2-bedroom house. I'm a single income homeowner. I rent my garage apartment for $600 to help make ends meet. That doesn't even cover my taxes. I could raise the rent to $1,100 to be comparable to the market, but my tenant only earns less than $1,000 a month. If I do that, she becomes homeless. And I will not choose to make someone homeless because my county mismanages money. At the same time, major corporations down my road have gone years without paying property taxes. Millions left uncollected, while homeowners like me carry that burden. Even last major development opportunity, because we've lost a major development opportunity because of the strain of infrastructure. Yet we add 1,600 new apartments that are also still currently being built, but added more stress on the roads and services. And I'm almost done. Right now, that same road service is more used as a truck stop rather than the pedestrian walking paths and the bike lanes that it was intended in its use. The citizens of Douglas deserve better. We deserve elected leadership that files audits on time, restores oversight, and governs transparently without pushing families through inequitable tax practices.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Vincent Zagorn, 4936 Maroni Mill Road. I think you guys have made your decision. I'm here to talk to them. Voting is the only way you change this. You got to get them out. Every cycle, get them out and get new ones in, and about the third cycle on, they'll figure it out. Because they're going to make a decision. If they vote yes, you got to get them out in 26. Even if they're the same party you are, you got to vote against them. We're one step away from being Fulton County, the highest tax county in Georgia. Keep them in office.
Lisa, did you get his name? Clerk, Madam Clerk, did you get our citizen's name that just spoke? Did you get his name and address?
I got his
Okay, I
name.
just want to make sure you had his address. Okay, thank you.
My name is Siddhartha Thacker, 3535 Cowan Ridge Drive. I've lived here in Douglas County since 1993. I graduated Douglas County in 1998. I wrote the first article for this courthouse increasing a 1% tax, and it has been a downhill trend since then, since we increased the sales tax to build this place. Ever since then, I helped drive that tax push from high school. I went to Oxford of Emory, Emory University. My parents have ran businesses in this county for 30 years. My dad worked to develop this county till a month before he died of stage 5 cancer, all right? And this is absolutely unacceptable. Small businesses cannot afford you to increase taxes on their clients. They just cannot. I will tell you that in January, I was at Chris Henderson's office, the building services department, getting land deeds, and I incorporated a corporation to build a new small business in Douglas County. I was going to leverage my 401k, my stock options, and every ounce of savings that I have. And the entire file is sitting on my desk, and a business is not being built right now because this was announced. It went on pause. I was on the send button to the Small Business Association when I saw this article come out a month or two ago, whenever it came out. All right, y'all need to understand the downhill effects that this is having on a compression effect, where you're literally adding a cost of living crisis on the very people you're saying is having a cost of living crisis, right? Like, this is just not making any sense. Sorry. What y'all need to understand is that we are dying out here. All right, I'm a single parent of three kids. All right, I've bought a house here in Douglas County at 2020. My mom owns a house. She's a veteran, I'm sorry, she's an elderly senior citizen. I have plenty of veteran friends who own houses in Douglas County. They're all underwater. Y'all are going to increase taxes. Did y'all increase the sheriff's department's pay? Did you increase the librarian's pay? Did you increase the fire people's pay? Are they going to be able to afford the very taxes that you're going to increase? The people who work for you. All right? So I'm not really here to tell you no. In fact, I'm here to let you know that a lot of people here said that they should vote you out. Well, I'm a candidate. All right, I mean, I've graduated with honors from here. I've run businesses. I don't know how to run a county commission, campaign, but I bet you money that there's somebody here who will. And my information has been public since 1998. And my character is impeccable, and my background is impeccable. I will beat any one of you. I don't know which one of you is mine, but I will destroy you.
Hi, my name is Christian St. Prix. I live at 3835 Two Boroughs Court.
Sorry, can you repeat your name? I'm sorry, I couldn't
My
hear.
name is Christian St. Prix, and I live at 3835 Two Boroughs Court. So, I'm not gonna lie. I think you guys have a very difficult job. You guys have to try and manage this entire place. So I understand that there are difficult decisions to be made. I try to get as involved in Douglas County as possible. I have worked at the Board of Elections. I have gone to Citizens Academy, where this gentleman actually explained a lot of things about the millage rate and how that works. I've tried to be involved. The next step to that is for me and my fiance to purchase a house and live here. That's what we're trying to do. So I'm here to speak on the people that are my age, that are under 30, that are trying to purchase a house here. It is super difficult. From 2021 to 2025, the housing rates have increased by almost 36%. That is insane. So on top of that, you guys increasing the millage rate, that's going to hurt people like me who are trying to figure out where they're going to make the next step in life. Here, I want this to be the place where I both live and start a small business. But this type of decision is what limits my ability to do that. So I just want to speak for the people in my generation that are in that situation right now. There was another gentleman that was like 22. He was over there. Shout out to that guy, because he's even younger than me, and he's talking about this stuff. But yeah, that's what I came here to say. So that's it.
Thank you.
This is not going to play out very well. I got it. Greetings, Madam Chair. Give me a minute.
Greetings.
My name is Kelly Robinson, 2580 Summer Lake Road, Lithia Springs, Georgia, 30122. A former county commissioner of 4 terms, 2 in the minority and 2 in the majority. Coming in 08, the longest reigning in this county's history so far. 3 presidents, 3 governors, 3 chairs, and 3 mayors. This is not going to play out very well. Dr. Corbin, you have screwed this up. Done. This is not about Madam Chair, Chairman Miller, none. I left you to take control and help these people. That child knows better than this doggone CFO y'all got out there. I did not interview him, and when I did, it was no. What is this? Y'all had $43 million when I left. You had a plan. It's gone. How y'all gonna raise taxes on them? What? No, Madam Chair, I'm sorry, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm always gonna be honest. You cannot raise it. You cannot even consider it. It's a false argument. I cannot believe y'all put that president today. Tiffany, you did great. No, you did good. You did better than that guy. Dude, how you gonna be my CFO? I told y'all don't come over here with this. I am that serious. This is the joke. Last point, he has to go. Dr. Corbin, you can't do all 3. You can't be my financial advisor, my CFO, and my county administrator? SEC conflict of interest? Really? No, I'm not finished. No! To all of you, I don't care who you are, listen to my soul. I'm blind, I don't know who's up there. Listen to this. Madam Chair, y'all have no control. This dude is the county manager. He is the structure of a city manager with veto. Everybody reports to him. Nobody reports to Madam Chair but her secretary. I need y'all to understand that. He has the power of a mayor. At the same time, he has the strength of the superintendent. He runs the whole system. Y'all have no veto. None. Don't be scared of him. I want to see y'all stand up and get rid of this now. Now. Tiffany can handle this. We pay too much money. Tiffany can handle this. This is BS. You can get an order right now. I agree. All you got to do tonight, freeze everything, get that audit, forensic, reconsider, and do it now. I'm sorry.
All right. All right.
My respect. I'm sorry. That's it.
All right.
Y'all heard enough. And by the way, y'all can look at my stuff online if y'all want to get more detail, but y'all heard me. Sorry, y'all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, make sure you get his umbrella.
My name is April Streetman.
Okay. 1 second. Point of order. Thank you so much, Ms. Strickland.
April Streetman.
Street.
8739 Club Drive. I never agree with that man that just stood up and spoke, but I agree with him tonight. I absolutely agree with him tonight. But I will say, I only have a few points that I want to point out, and that is, how do we make this work? I've been here 43 years. There are a few of you that are still up there that brought buses into our system that are bringing us down. We do not need them. How do you cut your budget? You get rid of that. I'll give you three more reasons. How do you cut your budget? When I get asked to serve on the board, I got to figure out, do I have time to serve on the board? And when I make that decision, then I go for it. And if I don't have the time, I don't go for it. But I don't have and I'm not going to use the expletive I almost just used. I do not have an assistant. Cut the budget by getting rid of the assistants. You can't do your job, don't get up here. Elected officials keeping fees. There's another way to cut your budget. Why are we allowing our elected officials to keep fees? Put that back into our budget so that we can use that to go towards some of these things that we actually do need. We don't need boundary waters. When they were reading that list off, all of your constituents out here were saying, we don't need it, we don't need it, but yet you're still doing it. That's bringing our budget up. I guess that's all I have to say. But I do agree, none of us want it, and there's a few of you that have been up here long enough to know that we don't want it, but yet you still keep.
Thank you so much, Ms. Streetman. You have the floor.
My name is Gavin Broussard. I live at 7234 Wildflower Walk, Winston, Georgia. I wasn't going to come here today, but after watching the 10 a.m. hearing and seeing the ending statements of two commissioners got me really infuriated, and it took me a while to calm down. I originally was going to come here and have a whole different speech, but I will say this: shame on you. I'm not going to name names, but shame on you. Ms. Jones, Mr. Mark, thanks for having compassion this morning at the 10 a.m. meeting. Thank y'all. And this is the final thing. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out and representing fellow peers of Douglas County. Thank you. Give yourself a hand and pat on the back. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Joanne Doyle. I live at 8032 Palmer Street, City of Douglasville. The math is definitely not mathing because 2023 I paid $1,079 in taxes.
Yes,
my house was assessed below $200,000. Last year I paid $1,860.
Yes, ma'am.
I got $1,860 again this year as the preliminary before you guys started all this. I'm disabled. I am full-time caregiver for my father, who I almost just lost. He was on a ventilator last week and pulled him through. He's an 84-year-old veteran. I am caregiver for his wife, 83-year-old female, and my disabled son. We came here 7 years ago after losing our home in Hurricane Irma, making it through the pandemic. This is not a fashion statement. I'm too freaking tired to get the tangles out of my hair because I'm taking care of everybody. And everything is going up. I've lost 50 pounds this past year. I'd love to say it was on purpose, but it's because I'm saving the food for my son. Okay? I am proposing tonight, instead of you guys raising, I am trained in film, television, and music. For years, I did wardrobe, hair, makeup, personal assisting for celebrities. Okay, until I got too sick. My son has the same disease, okay? Everybody in my family's popping up with the same effects of the disease. So tonight I am saying film money, not property taxes. Douglas County is facing budget pressures, and the default solution is often to raise property taxes on residents. I propose an alternative path, use the proven power of Georgia's film and television industry to raise significant revenue for Douglas County without burdening local taxpayers. By layering county-level revenue tools onto the existing Georgia state tax credit, which is 20 to 30%, these go hand in hand, and we will attract the film industry. We can do this next week. I mean, this is not hard. Douglas County can immediately generate funds from productions while also positioning itself as one of the most film-friendly and profitable counties in this state. Okay, we are iconic already with Stranger Things, The Hunger Games, The Walking Dead, our proximity to Atlanta. What we can do, our revenue tools immediately, this can take place. Film impact fees, $5,000 to $25,000 per production, depending upon the size of the production.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so say the projected revenue for a $10 million budget, film impact fee would be $25,000. Location rental, $75,000. Hotel and motel, $40,000. Vendor fees, okay? And we require each production to spend at least 25% of their budget with Douglas County business.
Yes. Miss Doyle, are you almost done?
Yes.
Okay, wrap it up for me, please.
A $10 million budget will bring us in $200,000 at the minimum per production.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All of these buildings that are empty, that are not being used, can be turned into wardrobe warehouses. We need Georgia Film Academy at our local colleges. We don't have it here. Our students have to go out. All of these people in here, I'm sure, would love to have a job in film and television. And if we reinvest the permit fees into the film fund and we train our local residents, everything will stay right here.
Yes, ma'am. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Ms. Doyle. Thank you.
I can help you get this going.
Okay, thank you. We'll get your telephone number. Thank you. Thank you. Good evening.
My name's Abby Scott. I reside at 5611 West Chapel Hill Road. This is not my first meeting here. My husband and I started a business a number of years ago and had to come to a meeting in front of the commission to get our business permit. A neighbor that we didn't know before then showed up in opposition to us getting a business permit because he thought the traffic would be too much for our tiny little road. We talked to him and worked it out. Our plan was never to be Disney World. We get 4 or 5 cars a weekend. It's not a big deal.
Yes.
We explained that. We talked it out. You granted us our permit, which, moving on. So every year we pay our business permit fee to the county because that's what we're told to do. Every year you increase our property taxes. I know your chart said it didn't happen, but the dollars that went into my mortgage went up.
Can you speak up a little more?
I don't know
for
what,
us?
your chart said you didn't raise property taxes, but my mortgage went up. And I understand this is not a Board of Education meeting, but that is also Douglas County school system. And if we're going to talk about money, let's talk about where all of it goes. A third of the Douglas County schools performed in the bottom 50% of testing in this state. I don't know where the money's going, because it's certainly not going to anything that my child is learning in this county. He missed the first 9 days of his junior year of high school because my husband and I decided he was going to get more education marching a drum and bugle corps than he was going to get in the first 9 days of public school in this county. And you know what? The administrator, 3 administrators at his high school looked me in the eyeball and said, you know what? You're right. Your kid is going to learn more in 9 days being off on his own than he is going to learn in this school in the first 9 days of school.
Wow.
So the part where you're trying to raise taxes on me and my disabled veteran business owner husband and my child, who I have to send out of this county to learn anything, I have a problem with that. Why can I not get a permit for a well at my own house? Why can I not, my agriculturally zoned home property, why can I not put a metal-sided building on it? That's because the county, Keep Douglas Beautiful, has decided that metal-sided buildings are ugly. So I can pay the $1,500, I heard the chime. So I can pay the $1,500 to come before you, the Board of Commissioners, and Planning and Zoning, to appeal that decree, but I have been told by a member of that Planning and Zoning Committee that I will be wasting my money.
Yes, ma'am.
So when y'all talk about raising rates on anything, I gotta call BS. Where's it going? Because I don't see any benefit that I'm getting. I don't see any benefit. And the part where one of you this morning said that we have to look at additional revenue streams to fix this budget, no, sir. No, sir. No. You need to look at cutting your costs for making the overpass to Fairburn Road pretty. No. Show me a business that came to Douglas County because the Fairburn Road overpass is pretty. Name me one. Name me one business. Didn't happen. I'm tired of it. My husband
Hello, boss. You,
keeps texting me.
my boss. I know you're my boss, but can you wrap it up?
Keeps texting me. Do you have family yet?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Can you keep?
I want to use it because
So,
my
okay.
property taxes are going to go up.
Yes, ma'am.
So, I just call BS on a lot of it. Y'all need to do your jobs better.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am deliberately allowing you all to go over the night because you're my boss and I'm listening, and the board, I'm hoping they're patient with me. So I'm just, usually I do better with trying to stop you, but I want to listen. I like that purple tonight.
Thank you.
Okay,
My
thank
name
you.
is Della Lurk-Pinmeta. I
Mhm.
live at 7280 Berea Road, Winston, Georgia.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to make this sweet, so you don't have to
Okay.
worry about that.
All right.
This is for y'all. I'm just going to say, vote no. Vote no. The rest of you guys, all you out here, let me just tell you this. If the millage is passed, we need to research and start thinking about the recall process before our elected officials run us out of our homes, our land, and our businesses. It's time we do something, you do something for us, because we did something for y'all by voting you in.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. You have the floor. State your name and address.
Richard William Strickland Jr., 9003 Highway 166. The last piece of dirt that I have left. I had to sell the rest of it off. I wasn't even going to speak tonight. I watched y'all's meeting earlier today. I spoke earlier. I do apologize.
That's okay.
She was correct. We're not over budget. Next month, we're over budget. Am I correct? You don't have to answer. I'm good with numbers. I tell you, Mark, you got 3 years. I'm counting on you to change. Do your job. I heard you this morning. I want to see action. Henry Mitchell, glad to see you show up today. You wasn't here last Monday. I'm not good at public speaking. Third time ever doing it. My father's eulogy last Monday, and I walked out. I told you you got 3 years to do your job, or I'm coming for it. I know which district you're in. I have lots of family in that district. Lots of family rotting in the ground in that district, still speaking from the grave. Right here. And I'm talking to you because you're my commissioner. You're supposed to be my voice sitting up there. It's a great day to be an American because I get to stand up here and stand up for my rights. Ramona Jackson Jones, doctor.
Thank you.
How did you get that doctorate? What does it take to get a PhD?
I work for it.
You got to do a dissertation at the end in front of your peers.
Yes.
I'm one of your peers.
Thank you.
Do a dissertation on this county.
Okay.
You know how to do it. You got a PhD in it. You had to do one. I'm not good at it. I'm a product of Douglas County school system. They would not let me into college.
Point of order, y'all. Thank you so much, Mr. Strickland.
So-
Mr. Strickland has the floor, everybody. Let him finish.
So,
Mr. Strickland, you have the floor.
With that, I vote no.
Yes, sir.
Everybody in the county votes no.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, if you vote no, you are not doing your job. So please exit the bench and let somebody else up there.
Yes, I understand.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Strickland.
My name is Wendy Whitley, 7124 Wildflower Walk, Winston. First of all, I just want to say that I've been in my house almost 28 years. In the last 8 years, my property taxes have doubled. I was shocked to find out that on my property tax bill, we pay for street lights. I was not aware that just last year alone, Greg Baker got a bonus of $82,222 for street lights. The last 4 years, he received over $231,000 for street lights. I guess what brought me in here was hearing that you guys have water coolers and we had to get a bump in the budget to pay the extra for these, whatever's going on with the water coolers. Why can't we put water in the fire stations for our firemen? I feel like we need to get rid of all the assistance, county cars, gas, and insurance. And another thing I want to know is I live in a community in Fairplay. What was wrong with all the street signs? Why did they all get taken down and brand new ones put up? What was the purpose? I don't understand that. We have a lot of waste going on, but I just wanted to piggyback off of everybody else and add what I added, but this is ridiculous.
Thank you.
I'm short. My name is Tricia Holloway, and I live at 4491 Mason Creek Road.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm here to say I completely oppose this millage rate increase. There's no sense in the amount of money that's being spent in this county and wasted that you're asking the taxpayers to dig into their pockets when they're already struggling. I'm on a fixed income. My husband, too, we're retired on Social Security. There's many of them in here that are, just like you've heard so many of these people say, that they are disabled, disability. I mean, it's, when I was growing up, my parents taught me there's a difference between your needs and your wants, okay? You have to take care of your needs, but the wants, you get those by working harder and smarter. You don't take it from your needs. And that's what you're asking us to do. You're asking us to give up our land, our houses. I've lived at that in Douglas County for 68 years. I've been a resident here my whole life. I was born in Crawford Long in Atlanta, and I love it here. People say, why don't you leave Douglas County? I'm like, this is my home. Mm-hmm. Why do I want to leave? My dad worked hard to provide land out there on Mason Creek. We have 57.97 acres with my two sisters, which one passed away to COVID in 2020. But immediately when he passed away, they hit us with school tax on his property, even though it's still in a trust. And we've been paying school tax out the wazoo for 20 years, that we don't even have children in school anymore. But yet, in 1980, they did the Dog River Basin, and we're in that vicinity. So if we decide that we can't afford these taxes and we want to sell that property to get out because we can't afford it, our property is devalued because nobody's going to want to come in and buy, because you can't build on less than 3 acres out there. So, I mean, it's just ridiculous to ask the people of this county, who are already strained, to dig deeper and take something from them they don't have. I mean, bottom line is, if I can't afford something in my household, my husband 2 months ago said, we're paying too much for car and house insurance, we got to find something different. I spent 3 days calling different insurance companies, getting quotes, getting prices. Well, you know what? I cut my car insurance and my house insurance by half by combining them with one company. But had I not made that effort and did the work, I would have never been able to do that. And basically, that's what you guys are going to have to do. You're going to have to look at your budget and say what's a necessity and what's not. $3,500,000 for Connect Douglas. How much does that even make a year? You know, how much does that even bring in? If that's part of the problem, then cut some of it back. I mean, I'm not saying you have to get rid of it altogether, but you got to look at what your needs and your wants are, and you got to weigh what the needs are versus the wants. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Glenna James. I live at 4309 Quincy Court. We moved into that house in 2020 after very carefully budgeting to make sure that we could afford all of the expenses that come with a house, including homeowners insurance, property taxes, and everything else. We were going to be able to not only make those payments, but be able to pay extra so that our 30-year mortgage might able to have been possibly halved. I think since 2020, we have done that twice. Because beginning in 2020, we saw property tax increases to the point where it was noticed on national news in 2020 during the pandemic. Since then, our home has gone from $890 on the mortgage to, if we had not paid the escrow shortages due to property tax increases and increases in insurance, we would be already at $1,600 per month. We are currently at $1,200 per month. I have a 3-year-old son. Part of the reason why we moved into our home was to be able to start a family. And I have had health issues due to mold in our previous house. I had hormone issues related to that. This year, our AC quit, and I have a 3-year-old son, and I have not been able to fix the AC in our house because we don't have the money for it. I had to choose in 2022, after my son was born, to try to start a business that would supplement our income. And the choices that I made are a reflection of this dilemma, but the choices were made to try to make up for the cost that was incurred by the choices of this county and of the Board of Commissioners. I shouldn't have had to do that. I'm happy to, because I feel like it's part of my calling now. I feel like it's part of what God had planned for me. And so maybe in that sense, it was a divine appointment where I was able to kind of come into what I was meant to do. But the circumstances are not what I would have chosen. And this increase, we haven't had AC since May. It's hot in our house. I know a lot of people that do that anyway because they've already had to make that choice. We're also looking to give my son a little brother or sister, but the ability to do that is going to be directly affected by how much our home costs, how much all the related costs go up in the county. And people shouldn't have to choose between a joyful event like that and being able to put food on the table for the children that they already have. I love what the mom said earlier of the raspberries. My son loves blueberries. He loves raspberries and blueberries, strawberries. I was right there. Like, I've chosen many times, sweetie, I don't have any raspberries. Tell a 3-year-old, I don't have any raspberries. Now, I'm of the opinion that you don't say you can't afford that, because that gives them a scarcity mindset. But I do say, we don't have raspberries right now. I'll have to wait and get those later. And that's a difficult thing to say to a 3-year-old child. So, in conclusion, I would ask that you say no to this increase, because, again, it is a cycle, and it affects those of us who are homeowners, and it affects, I've seen people that are my age that have made a choice not to stay here because they can't afford it, so they've moved elsewhere. I've lost friends, I've lost family members that have moved out of this county because they can't afford to stay. And I don't want to see it happen, and I don't want to have to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good evening, Madam Chair, Vice Chair.
Good evening.
Board. My name is Dee Dee Knowles. My address is 8525 Downs Road, Winston, 30187. I'm not coming here for myself. My property taxes are $7,800. I make adjustments to make sure I pay those because I cherish the house that I live in. I'm not here for that. What I am here for is something else. I am the current county director for the Douglas County DFACS office. I see hundreds of families coming through my lobbies every month getting food stamps, getting Medicaid, getting TANF. They're struggling. They're struggling really, really bad out here, guys. And I see the defeat on their face when they're sitting in my lobby, having to be in that position where they have to ask for help. Many of these individuals are on fixed incomes. They have children that they're raising, single parents that are out there struggling. They're the ones that are going to be hurt by this millage rate. I will survive. I will make it happen because I budget myself every month not to go over. I make cuts where I need to. I'm fighting for the others that I see going through my office every day. And I really hope that you guys understand that we just had a conversation, Madam Chair, about this big, beautiful bill out of Washington, D.C. and how it's going to affect the food stamps. I don't know what's going to come of it. I hate to see what's going to come of it. But they're being hurt by all sides of the government, by the federal, by the state, and now the county. I'm asking you guys to just reconsider this, look at other options, and think about those that are in need right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Saunders. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Julie Clark, I don't even know my address, 4627 Crooked Creek Lane, Villa Rica, Georgia. Just want to say no to the millage increase, especially when we have a county administrator making $334,000 that doesn't even live in the county. So he doesn't care what he feeds to you. He has failed to even provide you an audit on time since he started in 2021, along with Rosalind Miller, another $13,000 paid a month to by the county. And we have another assistant county administrator who makes $182,000. So you want to sit here and give a $41 a month when these people don't even live in the county, but yet they make this kind of money and then fail to produce anything? When was the last time y'all even reconciled a bank statement? I asked for a December 2024 bank statement, yet have failed to get it after 40 days. I can't get any open records requests. I've sent you guys emails informing you of information. You voted on a budget last year without even having the revenues to look at. So yet you want us to sit here and you want to raise our taxes, but yet you didn't even know the revenues that you had coming in this year. Thanks. That's all I got.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Christopher Drummond. I live at 7390 Timberlane Drive. I'm the husband of the fiery speech my wife, holy-filled speech my wife gave earlier today. Wasn't going to speak today, but I had more of a question than a speech to say, nothing fiery. And by the way, I don't speak as well as my wife, so I apologize. But as she said before, you know, we have a lot of pride in this county, enough pride to call our folks to live down here with us in this county. We lived in an apartment for 5 years, literally did our Dave Ramsey, paid off $50,000 of debt before we even thought about getting a house. We almost didn't even think about living in Douglas County, but we saw what they were doing and we thought it was great. So we've worked in the county for AutoNation for many years. Now we have our own business down the street from Lex, actually. And we pass by his house all the time, and I do see a lot of, on my test drive, I do see the bad road conditions in his area. But what I wanted to really get to was that on my test drives, I drive all the way through Lithia Springs. I drive up Thornton Road. I drive down through Douglas Hill, whatever that is, down Riverside. See a lot of construction going on, a lot of big box buildings. You know, a lot of the pride I had knowing that I lived in this county is because I heard Microsoft was here. I heard Google was here. You know, my question is, are they giving us a good deal to be here? That's one thing I don't understand. Like a music industry, like, you know, TLC was famous. They were getting all the, you know, praise and everything like that. But 10 years later, you find out they weren't getting any money. So I'm just wondering, are we getting a good deal from these companies now? And if not, can we do that going forward? Film industry, data centers, everything. Raise the millage weight on them, you know, if they have that, you know. So that's all I want to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, my name's Billy Holloway, 4471 Mason Creek Road, and I'm gonna tell all of y'all, I don't believe going around the house, come back in the front door. Y'all talking about running to walking trails? How many people here walk these trails? Oh. What's wrong with this?
It's probably, is it working? Speak now.
You get my address and name.
Can you just restate it for our clerk?
Billy Holloway, Mason Creek Road, Winston, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
We talk about running trails, all this money for walking trails. How many trails do we need to walk? We got sidewalk paid up Highway 5 with brick paver. You never see nobody walk on. Y'all want to spend more money for trails in the woods. How many people here walk these trails? I mean, why do we need that? You talk about money over in Winston for more parks. I've been living in Millage community for 50 years, and y'all ain't done a damn thing over there to fix nothing. It ain't changed a bit. It's the same it was 40 years ago when my kid played ball. So why do we pick certain parts of the community to favor, and we pay much of taxes as everybody else does? Jesse Park, y'all overspend over there for what? We pay for that. So where y'all coming from? Somebody ain't doing a job. I mean, we sit up here and y'all nod your heads and look at us. How many of y'all got enough guts to hold your hand up how you gonna vote right now? All these people, y'all done seen them, y'all sit up here and listen, but we ain't getting no knowledge from y'all on nothing except what bull crap y'all print on paper. So how many of y'all got enough guts to say you're going to vote no or yes? Or you too chicken shit?
I'm not going to be long. I know y'all said one time. My name is Robin Gower. Somebody over here asked, was it a taxpayer issue or a taxpayer question? So my question to you all is, again, Stephen Ronald Schiffman, 81 years old, or 80 at the time. There were 7 sheriff's officers and a state person from the Department of Human Services that removed him from his home. How much did the taxpayers pay for that? That's all I wanted to say. Robin Gower, 6141 Showerwood Lane.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Alicia James. I stay at 2655 Amber Creek Drive in Douglasville, Georgia, 30135 is the zip code. I wasn't going to say anything. I am a government employee, but not of Douglas County, but Fulton County. So when I came in, I saw the budget being explained, or the presentation. I'm going, oh my God, the budget just as high as Fulton County. So are we trying to compete with Fulton County? I listen to the BOC meetings there. Every other Wednesday when I'm able to. I work in the finance department, and I think it's a shame that the taxes or the increase in the millage rate is being discussed at this point. I see the abuse in government because I am a government employee, and I question it all the time, even at Fulton County. P cards, for one thing, needs to go away. Why is a P card? I see the fraud, the abuse of P cards every year, especially when it comes to fiscal year end. People just spend for no other reason. Because it's in their budget and they have to spend on the money, because if they don't, they won't get that same budget or more the next year. So we saw some of the things that were saying to be put in the budget to cover things. I'm going, it's not necessary for the citizens of Douglas County. We don't need that. Like they said, I see the DCT, whatever the bus system, I'm gonna say twice a week, because I take Greta to work. But I see the Douglas County Transit, and those buses are empty. How they're servicing the community, or how they're servicing the citizens. We know most of the time when anybody comes to Georgia, especially Atlanta, you need a car. I see the buildings going up, a lot of the warehouses, they're still empty. I see a ton of apartments going up on the other side of 20 going back towards Fulton Industrial. Why? There are not enough houses being built. I remember looking for a house. My husband and I, we were looking to buy another house, do a ranch. We all out in Paulding County, out in Cobb County, and was told, I asked why they don't come to Douglas County with ranches for senior citizens. And they told me for one reason that Douglas County don't want them, or there's not enough people out there to command them. But yet we put all these apartments here, and from my understanding, apartments don't pay taxes. I understand it's supposed to be built into their rent, but they don't pay taxes like the homeowners, and it's not fair. So again, I'm looking at the budget. I'm going, it looks like Fulton County budget. I see a lot of abuse in there. Like you said, you need to cut the fat. Cut the fat where it can be cut. Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is my first time actually doing it. I wasn't going to talk, but I'm representing my wife and my mother-in-law.
Okay, give us
Had it not been for,
give us your name and address.
Oh, I'm sorry, Thomas Dickerson, 8985 Baldwin Street, Douglasville, Georgia, 30134. As I said, I'm representing my wife and my mother-in-law, and had it not been for me working, my mother-in-law would be homeless. So, you know, I do oppose this homestead exemption, this millage rate increase. And I promise you I'm not going to be long-winded, but it just seems to me that it's a lazy way of doing things, because it just seems like the go-to is just to raise the property tax on everybody, as far as like as far as like I'm sorry, I'm just
Take your time. Take your time.
You're good. My question is, why is that the go-to? You know, as far as like raising property taxes on everybody. And also, as far as anything else goes, we've been here for 2 years, and we have not seen a decrease when it comes to homestead exemption. It's just, to me, it's just a lazy way of thinking. Just got to do better. I really don't know what else to say about this. I mean, I wish I wasn't here. You know, I'm pretty sure a lot of other people wish they weren't here, but here we are. So please do the right thing.
Thank you so much.
My name is Pastor Betty Titus. I had no intention of coming to this meeting tonight. My neighbor, Miss Sharon, where is your hand? She called me and asked me would I come. She and I have lived on Big Rock Drive for 29 and a half years. And I felt so impressed to come and to witness. And I've come and I have witnessed. I have heard, and I know if I heard, being a pastor, I know God heard. And I can feel the pain. I can feel the burden. I can feel the heaviness. I want to commend this commission. I've watched you. You're so disciplined. You've listened to the good, the bad, and the ugly. But in the midst of it, I watch your demeanor. And I know anytime you in leadership, you there because there's some love somewhere. There's some love for these people somewhere. And I see it there. I hear it here. And I was not going to say anything. I just came to be a part because I am a homeowner. And I thank God for this meeting because he's concerned. And we do everything, but nothing that we do is worth anything except we honor him. He's heard the cry. He's heard the pain. He sees and he knows. And I just want to say that I know you all are going to make the right decision because this is why I can sense in my heart that God want to do something special for Douglas County and especially for this commission right here. Every one of you. And I know you had to take some things tonight, I heard, and you took it with grace. You took it with grace. They brought the problems, and you are the problem solver. And you're not going to do anything without God's help. You're not going to do the right thing without God's help. So I just want to ask permission just to pray an overall prayer. We all need it. We all need it. We need it. We can hear it. We can hear it. And can we hear it? We can hear it. God, he loves us. He loves every one of us. And none of us are perfect. None of us are doing everything we ought to do the way we ought to do it. But I heard pain tonight. People are struggling, especially when it comes to real estate and when it comes to home ownership. You know, if you don't own anything, people say you're nothing. But you are great. You're somebody. You're here and you got leaders. You got leaders. These people, you all voted them in, and I know it's something good gonna come out of this. I don't know what they're gonna say when they get in their secret places, but I know they're gonna I just decree that they make the right decision. Man. It's not easy being a leader. It's not easy being a leader. It's not easy listening to people. Some things they say you agree, sometimes things they don't agree. But I just got to pray this prayer because I would have to go home and God would have to give me a spanking if I don't.
Yes, ma'am.
So forgive me, but
yes, ma'am.
Listen to what God, he is concerned about the taxes. He's concerned about Douglas County. He's concerned. We're in a bad situation as a nation, as a country, and as a city. You love Douglas County. You wouldn't be here if you didn't. And in Jesus' name, I pray tonight, Lord God, for these leaders. I pray for this meeting, a meeting that I never knew I would be at tonight. I was getting ready to go to sleep after the rain. But you saw fit. And I didn't want to say anything, but you speak to the heart of this meeting. Speak to these leaders. Speak to these men and women. Speak to these people that are struggling. Some of them are down to their last money, just want to be able to hold on to their real estate. I just pray for every requisition that was made tonight, every statement that was made. Some was flustered, some was angry, some they just wanted to make a point. And I would ask in Jesus' name that they'll go out this place knowing that these men and women gonna make the right decision, and we all gonna rejoice. But we can do nothing without you, and we give you the praise and we give you the glory for the outcome of this meeting in Jesus' name. Somebody just ought to say amen.
Amen.
You've been twice now, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
You
My
can't-
wife is unable.
No, you
My wife
already
is unable to be here.
No.
My wife is unable to be here due to a family crisis.
I
She asked me to represent her, Jessica Paranak, 3040 Beaumont Road.
You know what, that is not
Yeah,
fair
so-
to our citizens. You've spoken once.
My wife has not been able to speak.
Hey.
So there's a consent agenda for $1.78 million, and she would like you to cancel that from tonight's meeting because that's not been discussed at all. Okay, there's $1.78 million worth of spending. Everybody said no tax increase, but you will if you approve the, in one vote, 22 items totaling $1.78 million. If you approve that vote, you will commit this county to $1.78 million. There's a change order for $305,000 for Lee Road. I have requested the contract documents for that. I have not received that. I request that you table that item until we can properly review it. There's a $5.1 million obligation on line item number 21 for a sidewalk on Riverside Drive. I request that you deny that. Okay, there's a $210,000 amongst items 23 and 24 for project management to a company out of Duluth, Georgia. And item number 20 is I-20 and Chapel Hill lighting. I recommend that you deny that item. So the entire consent agenda has not been adequately discussed by the public this evening. The only thing on anybody's attention is the tax increase. So my dear wife, who is not able to be with us because of a severe family crisis, would ask you to simply table the consent agenda until the public has a proper amount of time to digest and comment on that. It's inappropriate to pass that consent agenda or consider that consent agenda when so heavily on everybody's mind is the millage increase.
Okay.
She thanks you from out of state.
All right, thank you so much. Those items on the consent agenda were discussed yesterday, and I know, Madam Clerk, those items were discussed, right? All of those items. And they're not coming from the fund balance, they're coming from SPLOST. And that is something all our pennies are contributing to. So thank you so much, and please give my regards to your wife. Anyone else to speak?
No, call for it.
Okay. Well, if there's no one else to speak tonight, this public hearing is now closed. Certainly, Board of Commissioners, this is an opportunity for you to impart your heart tonight to our amazing and wonderful citizens.
Let's throw for a vote first.
Oh, so we want to go for a vote first? Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. We're going to just move straight to the vote. We'll cut through the chase. Is that okay? Okay. If you, okay. All right, Board of Commissioners. Let me get to, can I put my glasses on? All right, do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a
Both of y'all, hey.
Madam Chair.
Chairman.
Yeah, number 7 is your next agenda item, and then number 8 would be the millage rate for the county.
Okay.
Number 7 is the millage rate for the Board of Education.
Okay.
We'll start with that one.
Okay, we're going to start with the Board of Education. The Board of Commissioners are responsible for approving the millage rate for the Board of Education. Board of Commissioners, we have a resolution to adopt the Douglas County Board of Education 2025 millage rate. Do we have a motion? Do we have a motion, Board? Okay. Okay.
Do we know what it is, Madam Chair? Do we know what it is? Can you state that for
Yes, I will.
the record?
Let me get
It's
to it.
19.35 mils.
The school board's millage rate is, proposed millage rate is 19.35 mils.
I think there's a dissension here, or some clarification, Madam Chair.
Okay. Okay. Just give us 1 second. Give us 1 second. trying to multitask here. Yeah, so I'm trying to multitask. There we go. Board of Commissioners, I've had an opportunity to review the resolution for the school board, and the proposed millage rate for the school board of education is 19.35. That includes maintenance and operation of Douglas County School System at 18.85, the bonded indebtedness of Douglas County School System, which is 0.50, which is a total levy of Douglas County Board of Education, which is 19.5. So do we have a motion to approve, Board of Commissioners? Do we have a motion? Okay, sounds like if we don't have a motion, the motion fails for lack of a motion. Board of Commissioners, do we have another motion? And certainly, I don't think, Madam County Attorney, we can't change their numbers.
So, no, you can't change their numbers. They've already voted on their millage earlier today. And so your voting is not to set their millage because they've set it. It is just the business of the county to acknowledge that that is the Board of Education's millage rate.
Okay. So the Board of, it's my understanding the Board of Education voted in their location today regarding this millage rate, and it's simply. Okay. No. Please, point of order. Point of order. We do not set their millage rate. It just, right. Excuse me, you all, please, point of order. This comes every year before the Board of Commissioners, but the Board of Education votes on this. They've already voted according to our attorney. But we calling a motion so we can approve. County Attorney, could you explain what this motion is for, please?
Madam Chair, the motion.
Please, y'all, point of order, please.
The motion was to, excuse me, the motion was to acknowledge the Board of Education's millage rate. That is number 7 on your agenda.
And I'm looking at
And if your board does not seek to make a motion, please just go to number 8.
Okay, we'll just move on to 8. Point of order, you all. This is the school board. I'm gonna move on to ours. Okay. We're going to move on to tab. Yes, we're going to move on, and we certainly will pivot back. We'll move on to 8. Okay, we ready? We're going to Douglas County's Board of Commissioners. Now we ready. If we could have complete silence. This is the Board of Commissioners. I'll come back to the school board, but let us go to tab number 8. I hope you have your agendas with you. And it says, Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to adopt the resolution to adopt the Douglas County Board of Commissioners 2025 millage rate?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to adopt the resolution at 12.063, which means no increase in the millage rate.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor, which we know that there's no increase.
Right.
Any discussion, board? Any discussion?
Nope.
And Madam Chair, for the record, this is the county's millage rate
Right.
that you're on now.
Right.
The first item was for the Board of Education.
Yes, it was.
This is now for the one that you just had the public hearing for.
Yes, this is the, and I made that clear, okay? I am now, if you all are, I'm trying to speak as loud as possible. Let me replay the motion. I'm on tab number 8, and it is what we just discussed, what we held a public hearing for This is for the Douglas County government millage rate. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion for the resolution to adopt the Douglas County Board of Commissioners 2025 millage rate? Do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to make a motion that to our resolution that our millage rate remains at 12.063, no increase in the millage rate.
Okay. We have a motion made by our Vice Chairman Mark Alcaraz and a second by our Commissioner of District 2, Commissioner Whitney Kenner Jones. We have a motion and a second on the floor, board. Any discussion? Any discussion, board?
Nope. Call for the vote.
I have a discussion, and then we'll push the buttons accordingly. To the citizens of Douglas County, I respect and value your crucial conversations urging this Board of Commissioners to not increase the millage rate, particularly at a time such as this when our citizens are being squeezed from every side to make ends meet. At a time when food and medication prices have skyrocketed. At a time when fixed incomes are being met with variable demands. At a time when mental health is a reality. At a time when our underserved population needs transportation. At a time when domestic violence has caused battered women and men to sleep in their cars. And at a time when children are struggling to learn in school because they are tackling and lacking proper nutrition. At a time when society is one paycheck from being homeless. And at a time when hospitals are closing. And at a time when we are not exempt from the inflationary pressures. And at a time when economic volatility has become a normal. It is incumbent upon me to make it known to our citizens, my bosses, that this obligation to increase taxes, or should I say the request from our administration, is not an obligation from the Board of Commissioners to accept or agree, because we work for the citizens of Douglas County, and I repeated it again. Nevertheless, let me just make a few points about what I'm expecting this administration to do. I'm expecting them to do a couple of things, and if you could just hear me out for a second. This administration will chart the course based on the Board of Commissioners' decision, and I have full confidence, and I want to feel that way right now, that they will make the necessary adjustments to do more with less, double down on expenses, reshuffle projects and timelines to compensate for the priorities of the people without expecting our tax-paying citizens to compromise or sacrifice a time such as this. With that being stated, the administration has assured me that the 2026 budgeting process will be tight, but it will be right with no exceptions. The Board of Commissioners rolled back taxes 2 years in a row during my absence. I think it was a kind act, and I promise you, I'm wondering what happened. I'm just like the citizens. What did y'all do when I was gone? So let me wrap it up and put a bow on it. Our citizens are struggling. Leave well enough alone. It's not broken, and if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. Board of Commissioners, we must hold the line by keeping everything steady to ensure that those who pay the cost to be our boss, voices are heard. So today is your day, and this is the day the Lord has made. I've heard your cries. I've heard it, and I'm listening, and thank you for coming in. It is just so wonderful and remarkable to be among my bosses tonight, so thank you. Board of Commissioners, we have a motion and a second on the floor, and please prepare to cast your votes.
Madam Chair.
Hand vote.
Okay, all in agreement. Keeping it the same, please indicate by raising your right hand. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. Thank you all so much, and we're going to move on to the next vote. Thank you so much. I am the sister of a Mississippi preacher, so thank you. All right, we're going to move on to the next item, and I'm not going to,
Give them a moment.
I'm going to give you all time to move on, and if you want to leave the room. Thank you. Oh, boy, let me put my glasses back on.
Madam Chair, County Attorney's calling.
Oh, okay.
We need to go back to number 7.
Yes, we will. Okay, that's where I'm going. Thank you. I am so happy our superintendent is here. Okay, do you want?
He can, yeah.
Okay. He like. All right. Board of Commissioners, we will resume our meeting, and so glad that our citizens. Good night. We're going to pivot back to tab number 7, if I can find my agenda. Tab number 7, Board of Commissioners, we'll retry that again. It's a resolution to adopt the Douglas County Board of Education's 2025 millage rate. Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve the resolution to adopt the Douglas County Board of Education's 2025 millage rate? Do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to adopt the school board's millage rate.
Do we have a second?
So, just got, well,
You got to wait for
second.
discussion.
We'll second for it so we can have discussion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion, board?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay. Commissioner Raxton, you have the floor.
Well, thank you. And I guess maybe this is more for the county attorney. Is this more for informational purposes, is that we're not voting to approve the millage rate? It's more or less coming to our attention, and we're saying that we see and have obtained what the millage rate proposal is from the school board itself, but this is more for informational purposes, so it's not a vote to approve it. And I just want to get clarification on that.
Commissioner Raxton, you're correct. You are not setting the millage rate for the Board of Education. You don't have the authority to do
Correct.
that.
Correct.
Rather, you're acknowledging that that's the millage rate that they already set
Correct.
earlier today.
Correct.
And you are adopting that so that the tax commissioner can then send out the bills. Because without your vote to adopt, acknowledge the Board of Education's millage rate, then they will not then be able to collect their millage for 2025. And so it's a necessary step in the process for the Board of Education. It's a separate process than you doing your own millage rate, which you just did.
Correct. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that. So it's a acknowledgement and an adoption or approval that or awareness that we have seen the millage rate, and by approving it, they can then go out and collect it.
Yes, and you can look at it as an administrative task,
Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay.
not
Right.
legislative. It's administrative.
Administrative.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, County Attorney. Madam Chair, I yield the floor back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Commissioner Raxton. Any other questions, board? We have a motion and a second.
Just one.
Okay.
Just one.
Vice
So,
Chair, you have the floor.
Just making it clear to everyone, we do not have any authority over the millage rate set by the school board. None. So we just adopt what they propose. And I'm not going to put him on the,
Please come up.
Yes.
Dr. North, the school superintendent is here. Come on to the
Come
mic.
to the mic,
Go to the
please.
mic.
Come to the mic, please.
No, go and around to the BOC.
Yes, there you go.
We go through the exact same process that you all do.
Yes.
We're excited. This will be our 10th year in a row where we've rolled back our property taxes. We advertise, we hold meetings, we have people to come, ask us our questions, we share. We are a LEA, a local authority, just like you all are. Because we share resources from the tax commissioners, a certain percentage of our income goes to do that. This process that you all are going through is what we call efficiency in local government. The attorney is correct, exactly correct. This is an administrative process that joins our two organizations together because we have a county digest, and that is all this is.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. North.
I yield back,
All
Madam Chair.
right. With that being said, Board of Commissioners, please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We have a 5-0 unanimous vote and the motion carries. All right, Board of Commissioners, we're going to move on to tab number 9, authorization to create a Douglas County FIFA. Ooh, I messed that up. World Cup Ad Hoc Committee. Do we have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve
the creation of a Douglas County FIFA World Cup ad hoc committee.
Second. Sorry.
We have a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion, board?
I'll defer to you.
Okay, just a quick question. So what is the committee? I mean, I guess I see what the committee is. Like, who is the committee like? Is it going to be you as the chair, I guess, or something, or and vice chair? I'm just trying to get the structure of what it consists of.
Yeah, so as we discussed on Monday, we are trying to create an ad hoc committee to make sure that we can leverage small businesses' resources to help them generate revenue during the World Cup. So the FIFA World Cup in Qatar had 38 million people attend. Atlanta will probably have very similar attendance, if not more, for games that will take place over 40 days. And so what we want to make sure that we do is, one, give the bus system an opportunity to generate some revenue to offset the cost of their services, because we want people to be able to get to and from the MARTA station safely. We want to make sure that we have the opportunity to work with the Chamber of Commerce and our Economic Development Authority to ensure that they can put together business packages, hotel advertisements, not at a cost to residents or the county, so that they can help our small local businesses generate revenue. And then we want to work with public safety to make sure that we're appropriately managing crowd control. We understand that the Olympics was here in 1996, but the world looks completely different. In 20 seconds from a text app on their phone, we might have 200, 300, 400 people at Boundaries or at Woody Fight or one of the parks. So we want to make sure that our public safety is prepared and ready for a response.
Good. Okay. I was just curious, and I think legal, you want to add to that?
Yes, so Madam Chief of Staff did help draft a resolution earlier today for this purpose. The resolution will be shared, but there will be some amendments there too. Currently, the resolution provides that the chair would be Commissioner Kenner Jones, the co-chair would be Commissioner Ragston, and the chair and co-chair will appoint the members. It also provides correctly that upon the conclusion of the World Cup, the committee dissolves.
Okay.
Lastly, what I would like to add is that the committee would provide updates, obviously, to this board of their operations and findings and anything else that they engage in during their operation. And so that resolution, if you guys do pass that, will be provided to you this week.
And that resolution will add that this will be a recommending body to the board as to kind of what these things that we do, correct?
Yes, it's a recommending body. That's correct.
Okay. All right. Sure. Thank you. And I yield back.
Okay. We have a motion and a second on the floor. Board, please prepare to cast your votes.
Motion carries 5-0.
We have a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries. All right. We will, Clerk, I've been doing your job tonight. You can read the next one.
You were doing great.
I know. Thank you.
So we'll move to number 10, authorization to create a Douglas County Audit Committee.
Do we have a motion, board?
I'd like to make a motion, Madam Chair, that we establish an audit committee for Douglas County government.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on the floor, board. Any discussion? We have a motion and a, Commissioner Mitchell?
And the same difference as we spoke about earlier.
I'm sorry, you said the difference.
Yes, just kind of, enlighten the public as to kind of what it is, who's chairing, what are we doing? What's the structure?
All right, so the structure is that we're looking to establish an audit committee to help ensure financial health, public trust, and governance integrity to stand for the benefits of a former establishment of putting an audit committee together. We think that this would be a great time to make sure that we're, as we've heard tonight, ensuring that we're doing the best, we're doing best practices, and we're looking at our internal controls, and we're just overseeing and putting an additional layer of audit structure in place. So as far as the audit committee, it will be made up of 3 residents appointed by the Board of Commissioners by a majority vote And these residents will have proficiency in auditing or financial analysis, including certifications as a public certified accountant or certified internal auditor. So again, this is a formal process that many other governments and municipalities have in not only the state of Georgia, but on local and county levels. And again, putting that additional rigor from a financial controls perspective.
And chair, vice chair, and then I'm going to ask the legal to kind of chime in as to the resolution side of it.
I assumed it was a committee of
public-
finance, so that
oh.
it would be
Oh, it's
y'all
gonna be-
with your members. Is it?
So it's a part of finance committee, you're saying?
So,
Okay.
so it's not part of finance. It will be a separate committee that will have the opportunity to review all of the governance here, the financial governance oversights of the finance department, as well as other departments here within Douglas County government. This particular committee will report to the Board of Commissioners.
But is it going to be the citizens, or is it going to be
It'll be
us?
the citizens. It'll be.
So we won't have no.
That's correct.
No stake in it. And
That's
then-
correct.
Okay. Now, I guess I'll pass over to legal, kind of legally, so we can make sure that legally, do we have any concerns or that we need to be making sure of that that's a little bit different information that citizens and everybody else will be obtaining through the finance committee and through the citizens, what is this called? The audit committee, I guess I'm trying to get at. So legally, can we do that, or can we?
I was waiting till you're done.
Yeah, okay, I'm babbling because I'm trying to make sure that I don't want to get us in a legal bind with citizens, Oh.
So the audit committee resolution was provided to me by Commissioner Raxton, and the audit committee would have to be a recommending committee, just like your other committees.
Correct.
They do not have final say, so they cannot operate independently. If that were the goal of this committee, then you would need to get some state legislation. Right. If you're familiar with like the independent auditor in the city of Atlanta, or the independent auditor that operates in DeKalb, those individuals have authority to operate independently because there was a state law passed, a local law passed that gave them that authority. They are able to operate without the Board of Commissioners or the City Council giving them direction. My understanding is not that.
Oh, okay.
This is a recommending committee that would do, just like we discussed with the World Cup, they need to report to somebody, which would be the Board of Commissioners, with their findings, their activity, and they would need to get instruction from this board as opposed to being able to operate independently.
Okay, and I guess the structure in conjunction with that we would, I guess, advertise or, because I think I heard Commissioner Raxton speak of that they need to have some financial backgrounds and all that stuff, or does that really matter? What are we going to be looking for from the citizen side of this?
Yeah, so next will be finalizing the composition, soliciting and looking for qualified members that will be looking to serve on the board, and then putting and assembling
what are
that.
just some of those qualifications, so at least the general public can kind of.
Sure. So some of the qualifications, again, as referenced earlier, possess professional proficiency in auditing or financial analysis, including certification as a certified public accountant or certified internal auditor, hold a minimum of a bachelor's degree in accounting, business administration, public policy, public administration, economics, or related field, and have at least 10 years of experience in government financial analyst, evaluation, or auditing.
Okay.
It's going to be kind of hard to find.
Yes, but okay.
I would ask, though, however, that this resolution reflect that they are a recommending committee. I just reviewed it again to ensure that it did, and it's not expressed that they would receive instruction from this board and only be able to give recommendations as opposed to make decisions. And so if this is the will of this body, I would ask that you make a motion to pass it with pending final legal review to ensure that we are not more on the side of independence requiring local law versus just a committee created by this board
Right.
to receive instruction from this board.
And that's why I'm not questioning it. I'm trying to make sure we clearly understand what we're doing. It's definitely legal, and this sounds like a firm to me versus the citizens, being a part of something of that caliber. So I don't know. That's why I agree. Maybe with legal input in the end to qualify this, yes. But I can't speak for my
No.
fellow commissioner. So
Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement with that, and again, pending legal review and final approval. So definitely in agreement with the modification as provided by legal.
And the only other thing I'll say, and I know you want to probably chime in here though, but I think the qualifications is a little much, but I'll leave it there. I'll yield back.
Okay.
All right, Vice Chair, you have the floor. Thank you so much, Commissioner Mitchell. Vice Chair, you have the floor.
I concur with Commissioner Mitchell that maybe we need to relook at the qualifications, but not only that, I think it needs to be implemented or modified that each person that serves on that committee, one must come from every district. Yeah, and I yield back, Madam Chair.
Okay. And then also, I would like to add an at-large member as well for myself.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, are we saying we're going to increase it to the number of 5? 5 members?
Right.
Okay. And one of the things we will look at is also the qualifications.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be my request for the at-large, and of
Okay.
course, the districts.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. So we called a motion, we got a
I'm
second.
going to see if we can go ahead and
So you
include
want
it
to
in the
restate it
motion.
again?
Yes, I'd like to restate the
Commissioner.
motion that I'd like to approve the audit committee with the suggested recommendations. One, that legal will review and ensure that from an independence versus a board reviewed and oversight committee, that is incorporated. 2, that we will increase the number of members serving on the committee from 3 to 5. And then thirdly, also looking at the qualifications and making any modifications and adjustments there to some of the requirements of the years of experience.
So, Madam Chair, while I hear the motion and I understand the motion, I think it's very subjective because I don't want to be the one to make the decisions on what those qualifications are. That needs to come from this body. And so I think at this point, unless the board is comfortable with Commissioner Raxton's motion, that it may be best for us to discuss what those qualifications are that you guys want, so it's not left up to legal to make those decisions of your committee, and either have that discussion now so I can know what it should say, or bring this back when we can have a robust discussion on those qualifications.
Okay. Well, I would like to, if we could, if there is some thoughts on any of the requirements that we think that may be modified, I'd like to open that up and hear thoughts on that. I think that's the one area there that we're still need more discussion is qualifications.
Okay. Also, Commissioner Raxton, I would like to add these individuals should not be employed by any other government, because sometimes you get that clash. So is that something that the board is in favor of just adding?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so
Okay,
any
Vice
other
Chair.
thoughts or?
Vice Chair.
Yep. I just think with all the questions and everything going on around
Yeah, I
this,
think we can-
that maybe we just table this and have some discussion about it so that we can finalize this and it's something we all can agree upon instead of
Yeah,
this
just-
open meeting. It's already been quite late.
Absolutely. You okay with that, Commissioner Raxton? Just to pull it off the table for just a second so we could make sure we have clarity.
Okay.
And
And that's fine, but I do want to assure, and I'm hoping that, we see the value in this, so.
Oh, absolutely. It's very valuable.
The citizens have spoken, we're trying to definitely address the concerns. So, Madam Chair, I will go ahead and make a motion that we table item number.
Defer.
I would be, but it seems like they have other issues too, though.
Is it the 10 years of intergovernment experience that's the issue, or in terms of qualifications? It's an Amber Alert.
Yes, Amber Alerts is going to go off anyway. Yeah, no one's speaking up.
Who are you speaking to? Who you addressing?
The board.
Anybody. I just was, I'm looking back at section 4, the qualifications of members. I thought that that's the section that we were referring to, that some of those qualifications may be a little bit high. I was asking, is it the have at least 10 years of experience in government financial analysis, evaluation, or auditing that was the issue, or was it all 4 of the qualifications?
I think it's all of the above. I mean, we need to think about term limits, and I mean, I think it's a whole lot of more discussion that needs to happen before we actually just dive right in. So
that's helpful.
I think we should do it. It's just that I think we just want to structure it right legally.
So I would just encourage you to look at the draft, because Commissioner Rexon did provide a draft before
That's fine.
tonight. Look at the draft so that when we do bring it back, you can see what's there. So if you have some changes to it, we can talk about those.
But I think we'll have the draft, I mean, we'll read the draft, but you'll have access to the draft once we all probably have had our input. So you'll know exactly kind of probably where we're going at that point in time. So that, at least that's my take on it.
Yeah, I just think if we're going to do it, let's just do it right.
Yeah.
Take time and do it one time and do it right.
So, Commissioner Raxton, would you call the motion again to defer?
Right, to defer to our, what's the day of our next meeting?
I believe it's September the... is it
September 8th
8th?
is your work session.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to defer item number 9 to the working session of September the 8th, and defer at this time.
It's
Oh, okay.
it's item 10. I think he accidentally said 9.
Yes, 10.
That's item 10, I'm sorry.
No, it's
Item
okay.
10.
We have a motion and a second on the floor, board. Any discussion? We have a motion and a second. Please prepare to raise your right hand if you agree. We have a 5-0 unanimous vote and the motion carries. And I promise you, Commissioner, we're going to get this off the deferred list as soon as possible. I know it's needed. All right. Madam Clerk,
Okay, next is your consent agenda, so we'll just need a motion to approve.
before we go into the consent agenda, it was just, one of our citizens raised a concern. Again, I want to make sure that we acquiesce and give the respect to our bosses. So it was something on here, I'm looking for 1 million something, and I'm looking for it and I don't see it. Is it something, I believe you all discussed all these items yesterday. All these were discussed. I know I had to leave the meeting earlier, right?
They were
Okay.
all discussed.
Yes.
Okay. It's that one. Okay, thank you.
And
Well-
the additional 28 and 29 were items that were discussed in executive session.
Okay, they were discussed in the executive session. Okay, thank you, that helps me, because I had to leave yesterday, and I appreciate you all carrying. Thank you, Vice Chair, for carrying the meeting on for me. All right, Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I almost said a motion and a yarn. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please indicate, please.
No.
Because consents, you don't discuss on consent, sir.
Yeah, how much is it? How much are you voting on right now? I have a right to speak.
Okay.
How much are you committing to my county tax dollars?
I'm waiting on the motion to come through.
We've already had the motion.
Okay, we already
Yeah.
voted.
We've already.
Okay, did I?
Did y'all vote?
Yeah, it should be. There it is.
Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, it's a 5-0 unanimous vote, and the motion carries, and the consent agenda is approved. Okay, we have announcements from our Chief Communications Officer, Yvette Jones. Please come forward, and thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Chair, Mr.
Good
Vice
evening.
Chairman, Board of Commissioners, and County Administration. Pleased to stand before you with a few announcements as we close out this evening. Save the date for the ribbon cutting and grand opening celebration of Douglas County's new Fire Station Number 9, located at 600 Douglas Hill Road in Lithia Springs. The ceremony will be held on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025, from 2 to 4 p.m. The public is invited and will have an opportunity to tour the new state-of-the-art SPLOST-funded facility and learn more about how it will serve the community.
Yes.
Join us on Thursday, September.
One second. We have our citizens exiting the room, and I want your voice to be heard. Okay, just give them a second. All right, I think you're in good shape now.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chair. Join us on Thursday, September 11th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. as Douglas County government commemorates Patriot Day at the Douglas County Courthouse. This national observance honors the lives lost on September 11th, 2001 and acknowledges the service of our local first responders, active military, and veterans. Douglas County Commissioners, administration, and other guests will share meaningful reflections as we stand together in remembrance and gratitude. We look forward to seeing you there. And mark your calendars for this year's September Saturdays Festival. This year, we're kicking things off on Saturday, September 20th at Boundary Waters Park, a brand new location with all new fun. Enjoy live music from local bands, a pumpkin patch, hay rides, food, and games. The day will end with the family movie Under the Stars. Then on Saturday, September 27th, join us back at the Douglas County Courthouse for the festival you know and love, packed with rides, vendors, prizes, live performances, and more. And Atlanta Gas Light is working to improve natural gas services in Douglas County with an upgrade to its pipeline system. The project involves the installation of a few miles of new natural gas pipeline beginning on High Point Road east of Stockmar Road and then following the road before turning south on Villa Rica Highway, Highway 61, and continuing into Carroll County. The project is already underway in Villa Rica, and work in Douglas County is beginning this mid-August. The hours of operation are Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. until 7 p.m., or as permitted. Drivers can expect minor delays due to construction along the project route for the safety of the community and crews, but not all areas of the corridor will be affected at the same time. For more information, you can contact the team at 404-584-3183 or email at website at villaricapipeline@southernco.com. And registration remains open for Alert Douglas, the county's new emergency notification system. This system is designed to send real-time alerts and critical information directly to your phone, email, or text, helping you stay informed and prepared during emergencies. To register, you can download the Smart 911 app from your mobile device or visit the county website at douglascountyga.gov and follow the links to the homepage. If you have questions or need assistance signing up, please contact the Douglas County Emergency Management Agency at dcema@douglascountyga.gov. And that concludes our announcements for this evening. I yield back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Chief Communications Officer. Board of Commissioners, we have one more item on the agenda, and it is we have a need to go into executive session. I see you, Vice Chair. It looked like, what? Okay, we have a need to go into executive session, and certainly citizens, respectfully, we have to take a pause for the calls to engage in executive session, and we will be going upstairs. With that being said, Board of Commissioners, do we have a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
Matt, for issues of.
Yeah.
It's litigation.
Litigation.
Give all the area.
Okay, cybersecurity, personnel,
I got it right here.
litigation, and real estate.
Okay. We have a motion. Any discussion, Board? We have a motion. Please prepare to cast your votes to go into executive session. That's nice. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
It's up to y'all. I'm okay. Either way. Is there a rundown?
We have a
Oh, sorry. So sorry. Motion carries 5-0.
Okay, we have a 5-0 unanimous vote to go into executive session.
Yeah, I was about to say, before
And
things
so,
popped up.
We will be exiting this room temporarily, and we will return. Thank you so much, citizens. If you want to stay, but we'll be right back.